It's supposed to be intuitive. It's supposed to be user friendly, but
what are you doing?
There's a keyboard. I want to talk to the chat, but it's not letting me.
That is a keyboard, yes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hi everybody. It's Midweek
Hi.
Saints. How you doing? Jesus Christ.
Was a keyboard.
You're not super bright anymore like you were last
Oh.
time.
I can fix that. Hold on. Obligatory crotch shot.
No, you look fine. No, I can. Oh God. Yeah, you're fine. It's just I can fix me and no longer be like super.
Oh, that was because I adjusted the settings using the mouse that works and not this one. Because this is it's wireless technology. We're moving on up to 2000. 1.
Are you drunk?
Fuck. No.
Okay.
I'm just dying of heat exhaustion. That's all.
All right, that's fair. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Come on. Big energy. High energy, man. High energy. I'll throw this American flag bandana at you. Shit.
It got lost in the folds of time-space.
Son of a bitch. All right.
Welcome to your sci-fi saints, where we can make shit disappear. Oh.
I know. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like that. It's like that movie Jumper, but not as terrible.
Yeah, and it's actually like mildly entertaining, and even though we don't really write anything for the show, better written.
Yeah, way better written. Holy shit. God, that movie was so crap. Oh my god.
It was like the worst thing about it. Shut the fuck up. Okay. The worst thing about it, I would say, is that it had so much potential, and like honestly, for like the first, I'd say maybe 20 minutes, half hour of the thing, because they jump right into the whole like, here's the super. Why are you turning? Stop that. Oh, that's why.
And Nick in the throes of alcohol,
more technology.
Alcohol-inspired delirium begins to.
This is my first beer today.
Throw things.
I didn't throw it. I just dropped it because I wanted it to learn its lesson, and it popped one of its batteries out. So I guess it's the equivalent of knocking a wireless device out cold.
You know what? I'm gonna have to take drastic measures because everything is so crazy right now. Everything is so crazy. I'm gonna have to hypnotize our viewers. All right, look. Everything is working fine. Nothing seems broken. We're not late, and we're not dying of heat exhaustion. This is going to be the funniest fucking show you've ever seen in your life. Please send Streamlabs. There we go. All right, we're better.
I feel like whoa, shit. Oh my god, from actually staring at that, the background is now kind of doing that morphing thing.
Yeah?
You stare at the spirally thing for long enough, and then it makes everything watery, and you're like, this is like LSD.
That's because I put drugs in your drinks.
That's a lot of drugs. I put a bunch in there myself.
There you go. You'll be gassed up for tonight.
It's like 2002 all over again now. There's not many people who will understand that until my book comes out, but don't worry. It'll make perfect sense when it does. Yeah. So yeah, heat exhaustion. I'm relatively sober. I think Jeff's relatively sober. I don't know.
I am working on fixing that, however. I have my Dos Equis.
The fuck is this background?
I don't know. I googled Grand Hall and I found this.
Oh, it's lovely.
I thought so too. I thought it was very lovely.
Yeah,
we can add some stuff to it, like
this is
we can have another Gerard. We can have another Gerard Depardieu episode.
A Depardieu party.
A Depardieu party.
Is it Depardieu or Depardieu? Haven't seen him in a movie in a while.
I never got rid of these. I never did.
Yeah, we're at a point now too where like half the audience who maybe came on board a little later probably has no idea where this came from.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Oh wait, that's right. It was Quiplash.
Yeah.
I remember Quiplash.
I think it was. No, it was a Quiplash on my channel that we first got into the Gerard Depardieu.
Yeah.
And somebody made like the Gerard Depardieu image that just had him saying "cummies."
Welcome to Heat Delirium and Nostalgia Night here on YouTube Saints. We're going to get into why Star Wars could have been better and bitch about She-Ra for a whole bunch. Hope you guys are ready for some quality online entertainment. Yeah. It's going to be fucking phenomenal.
It's not that hot. It shouldn't be that hot right now. I swear to God. I'm taking my fucking pants off. I don't give a fuck. This is too much.
No, you're doing it like a fucking local newscaster does it now.
Oh my God.
Get like local pages down below. It's like, wait, I'm sorry, local like pages. I'm not talking about Congress here.
I'm getting sexually harassed by my wife.
Fuck was that? No, do you have like a goddamn like Sasquatch or something hiding somewhere in your?
Bottom of my feet are filthy. No, that's Mems. She's being rude and burping and interrupting my job.
Yeah, guys, remember this is a real job. Like all real jobs, we're bound to like drink cheap beer and crack shitty jokes about dumb Twitter trends.
Yeah, I know. I know the bottom of my feet are dirty. I walk around in the backyard barefoot all the time. And you know what? And like this is like a regular job, much like a regular job. Sometimes the service that pays you out just for some reason decides not to process a good quarter of your paycheck. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
I'm really lucky in that my leasing agency is really understanding when it comes to like having rent paid on time, and that they demand that rent be paid on time no matter what. So it's I mean I'm so excited. I've always wanted to donate an extra $50 to my leasing company. Thanks,
Yeah.
Patreon.
Yep. Yep.
You guys
Thanks,
are rock.
Patreon. Fucking Patreon is
Did you,
currently our least favorite person today.
yeah, I mean you saw like their justification too. They're like, we're sorry about this. Some are external factors. Like fucking what? Like what? What are the external factors? And then they're like, plus our attempts to like build a global platform. You can have your patrons do this thing by reorganizing their accounts. Like, oh yeah, okay. Let's have the people who are already paying us for the content we make go and do a bunch of legwork to make up for your dumbasses.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
that's a wonderful one. That's a wonderful one.
I
Yeah.
swear, in terms of online platforms, be it YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, except not Twitch, because Bezos knows what he's doing. We never dream of talking ill about Twitch on Twitch.
No,
Um,
never.
but it's almost like one of these things. Like when it comes to like the development teams who come up with these new ideas, that's like the one job on Earth right now that I wish was staffed with like exceptionally lazy people. People who are like, no, it's working fine. Let's not fuck with it. Why can't we have
Absolutely.
there are so many people who are more than willing to get paychecks for doing next to nothing and just coasting on the achievements of the people who came before them, much like ourselves, who are just ripe for these jobs. So would Jiska Jabberwocky, Jack Dorsey, you guys, you need to stop hiring those recent grads who really have something to prove, and you need to start hiring old fucks who don't have anything to prove to anybody and probably don't like you to begin with.
Right. Absolutely. No, I'm trying to fix our gay fish sound because for some reason it was all fucked up.
Hmm.
Yeah, the sound is turned way down. I don't know why. That's strange.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Now this will be the last midweek show I do as a 34-year-old. It is going to be my birthday next Wednesday.
Yep.
I get to be. I think 35 classes. He was technically middle aged, right?
No, 40 is
No.
40 is officially middle age these days.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Not
We're all
there yet.
forced to lead long, dull, uninteresting lives.
Mhm.
Favorite line from Black Hawk Down.
So let's catch up real quick on some stuff. Let's see. We got actually 6 days ago. Insulin Boy 666 subscribed. I don't think he might not be here today, but for some reason, he subscribed to our channel while we were not live, which is whatever,
Woo!
cool. Miles Swan 91, 7 months in a row. With his Prime subscription. Thank you very much, buddy. Big Assassin 80, 9 months. Holy shit. MC Lucas, 9 months as well. Patreon is also suffering from massive heat exhaustion today. I guess fucking so, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sergeant Buck says, shout out to our boy Jeremy. Hope the coward who clocked him gets what he deserves. You heard about that, right?
Yeah, I saw. So like he went, So quartering went to Gen Con. Some dude came up like, "Hey, are you Jeremy?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then dude just started like wailing on him.
I just started punching him in the head. Yeah, just went crazy.
Is this just what it is these days? Like if you're known as somebody on the internet, somebody wants to punch you in the head.
They just punch you in the head, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's like what I mean like I don't really follow the quartering, so I don't know what his deal really is. I know he's got some beef with like the Magic the Gathering people or something, but
Yeah.
what would actually facilitate somebody wanting to punch a dude in the head who I mean his main bag is what? Just talking about like Magic the Gathering and nerd culture shit, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, he he does piss a lot of people off. People who are more social justice-y. Like he's very unapologetic, and he doesn't hold back. But there's nothing punchable about him. There's nothing like that he does that is so bad that he deserves to be punched. He just has a different opinion, and it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. But I mean, I can understand why the Magic the Gathering people legitimately want to like fuck him up. Not necessarily to punch him, but because he did expose some real fucked up bullshit going down in the Magic the Gathering like community, like a lot, a lot.
Like what, like Gamergate level kind of like SJW stuff, or was it that whole pedo thing?
Some of it was the pedo stuff, and some of it was like shielding others from legitimate criticism. And I mean, you know, when you do find out that there are registered sex offenders that are working as official judges for a company, it's a pretty big
That
deal.
a company that primarily markets their product towards children. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's it's a theory I've been like, well, not even a theory, it's just an observation I've been falling into more and more recently. Like, you can take nearly any institution, be it a private company, be it a
Right.
government body, be it a game manufacturer or a comic book publisher,
Mm.
and regardless of like what the ideology or the movement or any of that shit is, it seems that like there's this like expiration date when eventually people will show up with not the explicit intent, but the inevitable outcome being that they're going to ruin whatever that is. Like
Right.
anything, whatever it is you got, eventually someone's going to come along and ruin it for what are usually pretty stupid fucking reasons.
Right.
It's a legitimate, like, it's like the two phrases which pop to mind are, first, this is why we can't have nice things, and second, from I believe the movie Airplane, I picked a hell of a day to stop drinking.
Yeah, and I picked a
Yeah,
hell of a day to stop sniffing glue.
that's
Well,
it.
so Jeremy actually helped co-host Midweek Saints when you
Mm-hmm.
were out one week.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I've known the dude for quite a while. I really like him. I really do. I like him a lot. I don't always watch his videos because I think some of them are kind of clickbaity. But if you were to like get Jeremy into a conversation, you're like, dude, that was totally clickbaity. He'd probably be like, yeah, it totally was, and it worked. Look at the fucking views, dude. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our buddy Matt. I mean, Matt's been. It's been funny. Like, as my channel's like been still, dying, and I've talked to a bunch of different people about a bunch of different advice. Matt was even like, "Yeah, I'm just shamelessly going kind of clickbait with my thumbnails now.
Yeah.
You should try that." Magog's like, "You need to create a character and make a sitcom." It's sort of these things. You talk to anybody whose shit is growing, and their recommendations, you can't really fault them, but their recommendations are fundamentally like, oh, you just need to try and do what I'm doing because this is like it worked for me and I'm not really sure what else works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's why I
Uh,
do new press interviews now. You know,
I will say the one quartering thing that I had to start giggling my ass off though was when he went ape shit about the She-Ra thing. I was like, but then
uh,
I don't think he was very sincere about it either. It was just, you know, that's what people wanted to hear outrage about. He supplied them outrage. He got paid. Can't get mad at him for that. Fuck it.
yeah.
Rhino says, "Oh, I like him a lot." Look, go back and find that video where he does the Sargon semen taste test, where he was accused of swallowing Sargon semen. So on camera, he smells and samples it and reviews Sargon semen. Obviously, that wasn't really Sargon semen. You couldn't actually get fresh semen shipped internationally. So actually, it was my semen. So
Oh, yeah.
yes.
I'm not gonna even bother going there, but you can use your imagination. But just as you said that, a whole flurry of names flew through my head, and I'm like, isn't that so and so's job?
Anyway, so God damn it, Noble Yeti, send us some biddies. Nick, is it half price drinks at the Nuche on Wednesday? Birthday drinks.
Tuesday night. Well,
Tuesday.
I mean, I'll get it. They'll give me free drinks on Wednesday because it's my birthday and they love me. But
Yeah.
yeah, every Tuesday night at the Nooch, it's half off for what they call frequent flyers. So basically, if they recognize your face, you get half off. Which,
Nice.
yeah, and because I've been drinking less, honestly, like in terms of like going out, that's pretty much it for me these days. It's like half price at the Nooch, and I even convinced them to actually perhaps do stand up down there too. So my music hall's getting better and better.
Good. Good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
excellent.
Mm.
Well,
Nobody believes about the sobriety too. I love it. I'll do videos or shit like stone sober, and I'll just like the comments will come in like, "Damn, dude, you got hammered." Like, no,
I was totally
no.
sober.
Why? I'm just this is what makes you. This is what causes relapse, guys.
Hmm.
It's not life stress or chemical dependency, but actually YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rosa Rocks, 100 biddies. Cheers, my dudes. Happy birth, Nick. Yeah, happy
Hey,
birthday.
cheers.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm planning on staying in because I have like I'd say about 50% of my birthdays in the last 10 years have ended in arrests. So
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just gonna stay home and be old.
All right, so let's start with the news.
Yeah.
This thing up. Of course, I had to
As
reset
you
my
guys and
bit.
of course you guys know because this is midweek. This is odd news day. This isn't going to be your big headline stories, the shit everyone's all up in arms about. I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk about Sarah Chong in the New York Times or something on Sunday or Saturday or whenever the fuck we end up doing that show.
Yeah. We'll talk about that after this news article. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit. All right,
Yeah.
so Walmart mobility cart driver leads police on a slow chase.
Fuck
Ooh,
yes.
do you wanna start us off with this one?
Yeah, August 2nd, so that's today. A witness captured a video of a slow-speed chase involving police and a man who absconded from Walmart on a motorized shopping cart. Daniel Williams captured videos Wednesday in Somerville when he spotted a police car chasing a man on a mobility scooter shopping cart from the nearby Walmart. The cart appears to be running out of juice as the rider uses his feet to help propel a slow-speed vehicle. Basically, he'd have been better off doing like having a chase on a big wheel.
Oh yeah.
Police said the man was stopped without serious incident. The Walmart store declined to pursue charges in the case. Walmart? Well, it's like they're like this guy's clearly fucking retarded. We can't go prosecuting him, otherwise we'll lose. Like if we're gonna prosecute every like simpleton fuckwit who comes through the store, we'll never sell anything.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, we've made so many insults towards this guy, I don't wanna mention what his hat kind of reminds me of.
What does that remind you of?
His hat, he's wearing the same hat as Dr. Randomer Cam.
Oh, yeah,
Mike.
yeah. He's oh my god, yeah, he is wearing a Ushanka.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
actually, the more I watch this guy, the more I'm like, he's my fucking hero. Not only like did he get to like cause all this shit, but he also is not. He doesn't have to go to court for it.
God damn, man.
Oh, you beautiful bastard!
Yeah. This makes me rather happy. This is pretty great.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, this is like I'm surprised this didn't happen like Edmonton or something. Like, watch Ranger McCann's up there for like a honey badger event, and he's like, I ran out of batteries and Jack Daniel's honey. I've got to run to Walmart real quick. Officer's like, what are you doing? He's like, I've got to get back for the badger cast. I'm late and lazy.
You'd think he'd probably have his puppets with him if that was Mike.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, he'd actually he'd probably just blame it on the old man puppet, and then the police would be like, you know what, you're probably right. Now it's funny because I actually found and selected the story, and it was actually a toss-up between two Walmart stories because this past week there was another story of a man who was actually chased down by police after loading his pants up with I believe like $150 in Walmart steak, just stuffing it right down his pants, and then just huffing it through the parking lot trying to get away with with what I'm guessing was going to be one hell of a barbecue.
Was there a video of him like running with steak falling out of his pants?
No, it was just one of those like, hey, we found this on the newswire. Let's republish it. I think that was on Fox.
Okay.
But yeah, Pinky's up to the notorious mobility cart bandit.
There's the name of our show tonight. Oh, mobility cart bandit.
Yep, and Byro, haha, we're on Twitch. You can't copy strike us for stealing the Buttermilk Bandits, Buttermilk Bandits handle.
Mobility cart bandit.
Yeah, that man, he's a fucking hero. He's a fucking hero. Oh yeah, and Anna Hot Heart saying, okay, Wednesday we're going to Market Basket to stealing a couple mobility scooters. See, Market Basket is wise enough to know that they put the little like RFID things on the wheels, so if they pass outside of the property, they just lock up. And the fact that those things exist, there's a company out there that specializes in preventing shopping cart theft, which tells you what kind of a... Now, I have to wonder if this is linked in any way to maybe the jackass phenomenon. I mean, like, it used to be you just steal a shopping cart if you lived within walking distance of the shopping mall. So you walk down, buy your groceries, push it home, and then stuff the cart in the bushes, and then get another one next time you're there. Um, what? You never did that?
So you can make like a tree of shopping baskets, you know.
I'm not even shitting you. So like when I was growing up in Londonderry, a little bedroom town just south of Manchester here, there's a Shaw's shopping plaza that was nearby my friend's house. Now this is three brothers and they live with a single mom who was always working, so they were constantly raising hell. Anytime the older brother would go and get groceries, he'd push the groceries back in the shopping cart. And one time I went into the basement, they legit had like half a full row, like when you walk into the markets and you see those rows of shopping carts you pull one from. He had like half of one of those in the basement, just because
Wow.
like, he'd push it up to the back porch, they'd bring the groceries in, then he'd just dump it down the back hatch into the basement, and every so often they'd go and arrange them. Uh, yeah, it was.
They never took it back.
No, he'd just go get another one next time they went shopping. It was like one a week. Yeah.
Wow.
That was great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Schumacher boys. Those boys. I mean, keep in mind the middle, like that. My one of my oldest friends, who's like the middle son. There, he was in my grade. This was a kid who first went to like real prison when he was 13. Yeah,
Wow.
he liked fighting people who weren't expecting to fight him.
Okay. All right. Hey, fuck it,
Yeah.
man. I mean, no, actually, no, not fuck it. That's fucked up. That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts.
He grew out of it. I mean,
Oh yeah,
ended
eventually
up.
they have to take him instead of juvie and put him into real people prison.
Yeah. Oh no, I had like three or four friends growing up like that. One of them was this Russian kid who stole his stepfather's car, his American stepdad slash the recipient of the mail order bride that was his mom,
Hmm.
stole his car. Got with a buddy, like this other idiot junkie friend, like this kid that we hung out with. He was just this like, he's old enough to buy smoke, so we hung out with him. And
Right.
yeah, they pulled all the badges, there was a green Mazda 626. They pulled all the badges and all the decals and everything off the car to make it inconspicuous. Stole two different license plates off of two different cars in a parking lot. The idea being that if cops rode by and said, "What was that license plate?" they'd look back and be like, "Oh, I was mistaken." Didn't quite work. Um,
What the
and
fuck?
I shit you not, it was funny as fuck because like they got together. They're like, "Hey, you will go for a joyride." Went out joyriding with them for a little bit, and then I was like, "All right, I'm a little sketched out. Like, let's not do any more police chases. Just drop me off home." Dude, the two of them ended up going up and trying to get into Canada, and they were surprised when they saw people who looked like cops at the border, border agents. So from the Canadian border, they turned around and decided they were going to go check out New York. They drove all the way from the Canadian border down to Brooklyn, doing pump and runs the entire time, back when you could still do that. All the way down to Brooklyn, where they spent like a week hanging in this bar called the Village Idiot, doing like just random drugs with like street urchins and shit before coming back. Dude finally got arrested, and then when he was confronted by his stepdad, he cracked him in the side of the head with an aluminum baseball bat, put him in a coma for 4 days. Got sent to juvie, was too much of a pain in the ass for them, so they figured they'd try to scare the shit out of him, and they kicked him up to state prison, where he served 6 months out of an 11-year sentence for what was first attempted murder, then assault with a weapon, and then aggravated assault, and then simple assault, and they let him out. And so there were lots of jokes to
Wow.
be had about him making friends in the shower.
Oh wow, that's fucking nuts, man. That's crazy. Well, the Nugget says, now you can call your crack dealer back for another hit for
Hey.
5 cents. Thanks for the 5 cents. Appreciate you. Wow, that's
Since
excellent.
since that heroin showed up, I mean the street price of crack is just it's wonderfully affordable.
Is it wonderfully affordable?
I'm pretty sure my leasing agency is actually paying the guys who are repainting the lower levels of the building right now. And that.
Right. Well, hey,
You
you know what? Whatever works, man. Honestly, whatever
mm-hmm.
works. Cheap labor is cheap labor. We got to figure out what
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna be doing for this weekend, though.
Mm.
I mean, like,
Yep.
we can hash out some of the deals like off air if we need to, but I mean, okay. So here's the dilemma that we've been having is we've decided to change the format from the usual day because Sunday is just too hard of a day for most people to be able to catch the show. So the initial idea was that we're gonna do it on Saturday, and that would be perfectly fine, except my favorite day of the year is this Saturday. But the block party also wants me to do a live stream of the block party happening So the current idea is if I can get it set up on the tech end to do to live stream the block party happening, for me to be sitting out there on on my friend's lawn with a table and a sunshade and my laptop and my camera's set up, and me and Nick kind of have the show while I'm broadcasting it going on. And I think maybe we can pull this off because I do like have a headphone splitter, and I can have people coming up and hanging out with us and like sitting down next to me. I think maybe we can actually pull this off. Maybe. Maybe.
And the other side to it too is, and I think we mentioned this before, is that initially our selection of Sunday as a time slot was because we started the show in a time where there was consideration between shows and channels and such. That's pretty much all fizzled out in general. And moreover, when like half the comments on a given Saints episode are like, "Man, I wish I could have caught this live," and half the chats sometime will end up being like, "Oh, I'd love to catch it, but I got to work in the morning." So I mean, we'd like actually to know what you guys think. We were gonna put a poll together in the Discord. We probably should still do that. Probably. But yeah, I mean, like, let us know what you think about perhaps moving the show up to a Saturday night thing. I mean, we are a late night show, so I might as well jump onto the Saturday night slot so you guys can really enjoy the show. And
the only bad part about doing that though, I will never get a chance to go camping for the rest of summer.
Why is it always a Saturday thing with you?
Well, Mems only has weekends off. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's workarounds. Shit. I mean, yeah. So we always do the show, but I mean, fuck. I mean, we gotta do guest host. You could take a 360 camera out camping. I don't know.
Something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
The main thing is like we need to make sure that the show is more accessible to people, and also that we're having more fun. Because like the basic format that we've been working with, like it's just so much stress, and I think like that stress kind of filters in, and if we're stressed out and not kicking back and goofing off like we do on midweek, like I don't give a fuck right now. I'm just having fun. I'm hanging out with you. I'm hanging out with all of you. Like this is fun. This is great. But Sunday, like fucking stress, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it usually comes from like trying to find a guest.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people, and it's completely understandable too. It's like, hey, Sunday night, a week early. Yeah, I could do that. And they're like, wait, what time? Oh shit, no, I can't.
Right.
So
well, it's not only that, but I would. The more I think about it, the more I'm kind of the mind where I would rather have a guest that we've had before that we just love to kick it with and hang out with than bust our balls trying to get somebody like totally like that's really, really hard, and busting our balls trying to make their schedule work for us. Like if we can, great. Yeah, I love talking to new people and like getting more comedians and shit. I think is a great idea. Yeah. But if that doesn't work out, like just get somebody fun. Just have a fun fucking show. So
yeah. And I mean, other things, not to let all the cats out of all the bags, but I mean, we've also been discussing actually switching up the format and perhaps adding different segments. I mean, we've both got all of this brilliant like production technology, and I know you guys really seem to like the promos. So yeah, expanding on things like that, and of course, because like you are what makes the show continually happen. We just produce and host it. We'll definitely I mean, yeah, and do all the work and do the writing and do the formatting and fun stories and that. Other than that, though, it'll be handy to get into the Discord. And in fact, like maybe some of the folks when they get in tonight, if they've got suggestions, if you got suggestions, hop into the Discord. We'll be doing the whole rolling business and getting people in. And if you've got ideas for things you'd like to see here, let us know. Hit us up in the Discord, hit us up in the chat, and we'll see where things go because it's the best show on the internet. Might as well make it better.
New segments and actual intro. I know. I got so many ideas for the intro. It's disgusting. I, however, have got to finish this week before Block Party. I have to finish this big video that I'm making. I have to. And it may or may not have something to do with a lunar quadrupedal carnivorous animal. Maybe.
Man, bear, pig?
Yeah, basically, sure. Ben says, I'd love a Saturday idea. Yeah, sure. Nugget says, I'm running ads for these bits. Be fucking grateful. Also, heroin is not the choice at the moment. Too much fentanyl in the mix. Oh, that's true. And then Callie says, Cheers for Saints, gaming after the show, after Saints special. No, not tonight. Tonight, me and Nick have some work that we have to do after the show. And I
Actually,
also,
specifically regarding everything we just talked about.
yeah. We're gonna be sitting down and doing that, and I also have to do some filming. So, no special after the show. All right, so let's do our next article here.
Yeah, this one I was surprised. I found it on. I found this on Fox News, and actually, I was surprised to find it listed under odd news because, for one thing, this isn't that odd or surprising. For another thing, it's the kind of thing you'd almost expect Fox to be reporting on as like a main piece.
Yeah, we got burnout millennials quitting lucrative jobs to live their best life. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, got some booty action going on here. So,
that is quite a bit of booty right there.
I'm not gonna complain, man. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah.
Booty's fine by me. Sarah Solomon had a pretty sweet. Whoa, there we go. Yeah, Sarah Solomon had a pretty sweet life. The 20-something publicist was always out at fashion events, dinners, and parties, and even hung out with John Legend during Fashion Week. It was definitely New York glamorous, the black dress, leather pants, and high heels, and an hour putting on my makeup. Anyone would think I had a really fun life meeting cool people and celebrities. But she yearned for something more and resented only having 2 weeks of vacation a year. So last August, she quit her seemingly great job at a plum downtown PR firm. I wanted to travel more. I didn't want to have to ask for time off and grovel for extra days, says Solomon, now 25 and living in a rental house in Kauai, Hawaii, overlooking the beach. I don't.
My heart goes out to these struggling kids. I mean, they get, the parents put them through school. They get these degrees. They have to go and get these jobs. I mean, 2 weeks of vacation. What kind of savage, horrible company offers you that right off the bat and doesn't actually make you work to actually build up and earn those vacation days, and then and then you don't have to perhaps use them to justify time taken off for medical needs or something like that? Man, I
hope this the Middle Ages?
I know. I'm hoping avocado toast factors into this somehow, just to bring us all back up.
Yeah. Over the past 10 months, she's scaled volcanoes in Guatemala, soaked up the waterfalls of Bali, Indonesia, and basked on glorious beaches halfway around the world. She gets by doing freelance PR work on the road, so long as she can get decent Wi-Fi in paradise. I do have to budget more, but the freedom is so worth it. There are different ways to work. The world is changing. The traditional concept of employment is the latest thing that the ever-contrarian millennial generation is reinventing. They're quitting their jobs without worrying about what they'll do next. According to a survey, 43% of millennials expect to leave their job within 2 years. The trend is in line with broader shifts. According to the Labor Department, the percentage of workers quitting their jobs reached 2.4% in May, the highest in more than 16 years. 20 years ago, I never would have seen this. 20 years ago, I would have never seen this, said Kat Graham, a managing partner in a human resource advisory firm who has 20 years of experience in HR. The job market is so hot right now, unemployment is at a record low, and the war for talent is hotter than ever. There are more jobs than there are qualified candidates. And that's the end of that fucking article. My heart aches for these people.
You know what it is? It's almost like they're having they're taking the concept of a quarter life crisis and they're just running with like full midlife crisis mode. Because this is it's funny because if this was a 40-year-old who'd spent 20 years at this PR firm, right? Mm-hmm. 20 years grinding away building this career, and then they're like, you know what? I'm not happy. Fuck this noise. I'm gonna, ain't got no kids to pay for no more. Although these people probably never having children, hopefully. And but yeah, I mean, it's like I want to quit my job, move to Hawaii, scale volcanoes, just like live like the dude from The Big Lebowski. Like, fuck it, hey, yeah. I mean, but when it's like a 20-year-old who's actually like 25-year-old who's just like finding such grave dissatisfaction with a high-paying career path that affords them the interesting sort of shit that these same people used to dream about. Oh, I'm rubbing shoulders with celebrities, going to high-profile rooftop cocktail parties in Manhattan, blah, blah, blah. They're like quitting this and running off. I mean, you can't fault anybody for following their dreams. It's like, it's like our buddy Salvi Eric says, if there's a song in your heart, you got to sing it. But
sure. That's yeah, and I'm no problem with that. the thing that just drives me crazy about it is it's unrealistic. If you can quit a regular job and do something for a hustle, like what we've been doing, which by all means, for the love of fucking God, do not expect that YouTube is always gonna be able to pay your bills, because holy shit, it's rough. It's fucking rough. It honestly is.
Yeah.
But if you this makes it seem like well, just quit your fucking daytime job and just be a freelance PR agent on the road from your mountain scaling vacation in Bali. Like, fuck off, dude. That is so out of touch with how most people have to live, because they're just this is not something that they have the capacity to do, and it just
Yeah,
drives me nuts.
and well, it's another thing too. I mean, like a lot of people, and it's funny too. We get we get this shit. Everybody on this kind of platform, everybody who does this kind of thing for a living, effectively gets the kind of shit like, oh, don't pretend it's a real job, like whatever. And yeah, I mean, to a great degree, I wouldn't trade what I do for really anything. I've done lots of shit, but when it comes to like shit like this, when it comes to people who, especially writers, you see it a lot with like professional writers.
Hmm.
A lot of times people end up doing like what turns out to be their dream jobs because they have nowhere else to go. I mean, before I started doing YouTube, I spent 2 years hunting for work around in this area. And granted, the job market wasn't that great then. It was actually really bad.
Right.
And it was a sort of thing where people are like, oh, okay, some criminal record, really unusual work history involving like weird. What the hell does a political consultant even do? And why didn't you keep one job for a long time? And
Right.
then it's like, oh, and you were a union organizer. What did that entail? Well, you see, I'd go into workplaces and subversively organize employees to start a bunch of shit with their boss, and in the hopes of getting them better pay and benefits. But that's out of my system now. I just want to sell your sprockets. That's what I really want to do. A friend of mine, Elias Khan, he's been a musician for over 20 years. He said one time, like, for a lot of people, you find that eventually there's no place to go but art.
Hmm.
And it's like, and like for a lot of folks, there's a muddling sort of having to find your way to a place, as opposed to this sort of like avocado toast shit where they're like, well, yeah, it was all really great. And again, I mean, who the fuck paid for her degree? She didn't. So her parents paid for a degree for her to get a job that she'd work for a couple years before deciding she just wanted to go live somehow in a rental house in Hawaii. And I mean, more power to them. The hustle's working. They're living the lives they want. But
Sure. Sure.
if this is an actual trend, for one thing, I don't think these people get to bitch about like Trump at all. Because I mean, as much as I can't stand the guy, like the boasts about employment numbers and shit, they seem to be panning out, because if there's enough prosperity to where these spoiled fuckers can just up and quit high paying jobs so that they can go live lavish lifestyles doing something else like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you don't get to have your cake and eat it too in this fashion.
Right. No.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. It's odd, and I just feel like the out of touch nature of articles like this are just, I don't know. It just feels so shitty. It just feels so goddamn shitty. But anyway, let's kill that fucking downer. We actually have some rather crazy activity happening.
Yeah.
Nuggets, who is definitely busting ass watching ads, trying to send us shekels. Can you begin to understand how annoying this is? I did this for Irate Bear earlier today and ran 150 bits worth of ads. How long shall I run ads for you? P.S. Meth is bad. Okay. Too true. And our buddy Tickle Trunk decided that there were not nearly enough pinkies in the chat, so he tossed subs to One Fuck Canuck, I Queer, and the Nugs. The Nuggets, thank you very much. And yeah, guys, when you see a new sub, like, throw them fucking pinkies up. Very, very sweet of you guys. Very sweet.
This is this is the other side to this kind of work, this sort of dream job, as it was, is you can't do it unless you actually cultivate like the best fucking audience.
Yeah. No. That's one of the reasons why I kind of like the environment of Twitch in and of itself a little bit better sometimes than YouTube, because our numbers are less on Twitch than they are on YouTube. Like, we get less live viewers, but the interaction is so much fucking better. There's like less of a delay, so you guys like hear what we say like 8 seconds, not even that sometimes, after we say it, and like boom, we like pinkies up, bam, the fucking chat explodes. It's fucking great.
And also, I mean, I like too the way it's a lot like the Discord, and I oftentimes lovingly describe the Discord as being a fucking culty kind of place.
Eh,
It's a strange place, but it's like you see that here more than more than on YouTube, like the interaction just between people in the chat. Like
yeah.
there could be people who could just mute the fucking chat or mute the fucking stream and just hang out and shitpost in the chat. It's yeah, fuck YouTube, Susan. You fucked up a good thing. You fucked it up good. Well, bad. You fucked up a
Yeah.
good thing badly,
It's
or you
pretty
fucked up.
gnarly.
Yeah.
Kikistani National, Giovanna Liviana is a confirmed crypto Marxist who needs some lessons in honesty. What the fuck? What?
Hmm?
That's weird. What?
Hmm?
I don't know.
Repeat. What was that?
Kekistani National is claiming that our beloved Giovanna Liviana is a crypto Marxist. She's not a crypto Marxist. Liv is great. Liv is amazing. I love Liv. Caligator resubscribed
Yeah.
6 months so far. Sub 6 months and not even an 8-ball to show for it. How am I supposed to fight the Dragon of Chaos and save my father from the underworld without? Fuck. Watch the after show. And that's true. After this is the after show. Twitch.tv/Caligator, Caligator. And
Yep, you go.
I'll slash raid you when
Yep.
this is over.
Yeah, you go watch the after show because I mean it's like it's one of two places on the internet where you can find out how to cure autoimmune diseases by eating an all meat diet.
That's yet another gifted sub.
Turns out you could be kind of a moron and still regarded as a genius.
That's true. That's very true. Tickled Truck also tossed into Smart Pig 2150. Cool. Larry coming in with $100, dude. Thank you so much. Pinky's up for Frankers, and it's
Love
a new
you,
month, so time for some booze money. Much love to the Saints. May you rest your nuts in Bali someday too. Maybe if I run into some hot Indonesian chick named Bali, that might work. But I don't know.
My plan is to rent mobility scooters that I steal from Walmart on the Big Island of Hawaii.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like, yo, man, you trying to get around? It's a big island, kid. You might want one of these scooters. Nah, no serial numbers or nothing. They're clean as a whistle.
But thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Tickle Trunk. You guys are sweethearts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go.
So this next one, I like this next one.
This is a good one. You should read this one.
Yeah. So this is from Sky News. A funeral firm claims it's breaking the taboo around death with banned adverts. So we know the English love banning advertisements that make people uncomfortable, be you fat or dead. They want to make sure that your tube experience, that I'm never saying that again, is as pleasant as it can. The company Beyond, oh, that's a hell of a fucking funeral name, has released an ad that shows a couple running on the beach while carrying coffin-shaped surfboards. I don't think those you could surf too well with them.
No.
It's like,
No.
yeah, but a funeral price comparison site said it's breaking. Oh my god, this is like the Travelocity of funerals. I love it. A funeral price comparison site said it's breaking the taboo around death after its edgy adverts were banned by Transport for London. It's basically like this is like the Roman gnome, only he's dead and his family's trying to figure out how to like the most cost effective way to bury him.
When do we get William Shatner to be the speaking voice for, what is this place called?
Beyond.
Yeah, for Beyond.
Oh, that'd be great. It's like, we'd even get like the whole skit-based sort of Shatner-esque thing. It's like him dying in many different ways, and then like his children trying to figure out how to pay for what remains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the firm Beyond has released a holiday-style ad that shows, and this is not American holidays, this is a British vacation-style ad, that shows a couple running to the beach while carrying surfboards shaped like coffins. The advert jokes about offering roughly 1,200-pound one-way trip with roasting temperatures.
Holy shit!
I want these guys to sponsor my channel.
Oh.
It's like, hey guys, my channel's dying. Could you suggest the most affordable way for me to bury my content? Yeah. Oh, another is a mock flu medication ad that asks headaches, aches and pains, sore throat before adding, better write your will then.
Oh, wow.
I love this company. Holy shit. One advert shows a young woman planning her funeral in the style of preparing for a wedding and features the caption, "For that perfect look on your big day."
What the shit?
Oh
Wow.
my God. No. This episode of Midweek Saints brought to you by Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
The funeral price comparison site that claims that the taboo around death creates an environment where bad actors can operate. Beyond has publicized its campaign on Facebook, writing, "Here's our new ad campaign, which was banned by TFL for mixing death and humor. What do you think?" A statement about the campaign on Beyond's website reads, "So these adverts are a tad edgier, and that's deliberate."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see, we're all going to die. Yet in the UK, few people talk about it. When something is taboo, as with death, it creates an environment where bad actors can operate. And our fear of engaging on the subject, creating that shared code of silence, allows predators to rip us off. We pay too much for funerals, funeral plans, and wills because we don't feel able to shop around. TFL said that after the ad was rejected, their advertising partners worked with Beyond to come up with a more acceptable campaign, which is currently running. You know what that last bit reminds me of? You remember that classic cartoon Rejected?
Right.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. I mean, oh Christ, this is what we need running now. We need a series of death and funeral related memes that are meant to look like adverts. Hashtag banned by TFL.
Right. Oh yeah.
And yeah, let's see if we can sort of crowdsource some brilliant advertising for this wonderful company, which just wants us all to die.
I'm in love with this campaign. That's honestly really
Yeah.
really great. I like the idea of breaking stigmas and breaking taboos, you know. And their messaging behind it is great. You see, we're all gonna die. You might as well make it fun and funny. Like fuck it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, fuck. I mean, Carrie Fisher had her had her ashes interned in an urn that was shaped like a big Zoloft pill.
No way.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
No.
No, but
What?
yeah, no. Carrie Fisher throughout her life was a really big advocate for like mental health treatment and that sort of thing. And yeah, she had her ashes interned in an urn that looks like an antidepressant pill. I think it's like a Zoloft pill or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild. I wonder if there's a
Yeah.
picture of that.
Honestly, well, that's the thing too. Like, if you live you live a life and everybody, the funerals these days, our version of a funeral, it's a time everybody can get together and cry, right? Um, a lot of cultures though, and a lot of people, I always sort of like back when we used to talk about this sort of thing, sort of respected the idea that, a funeral was a celebration of somebody's life. And my thinking is too, is if you were the person who loved laughing and making other people laugh, let your fucking last blast on this earth, the last time people collectively get together to remember you, be something fucking funny. Yeah, look at that shit. Look at that. That's fucking great. That's goddamn brilliant.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, honestly, like when I die, you give it 6 months. When it happens though, yeah, I want my everything from my obituary to the wake to be like a laugh fucking riot, because otherwise people will cry and get sad. Who wants that? You want to laugh your ass off. I mean, God bless Carrie Fisher and her fucking that wonderful Coke fingernail she had. You can actually see it in Star Wars.
Oh
Real
yeah.
close.
Yep.
Yeah, all of her fingernails are trimmed except one.
Yep. Just one. Yeah. For anybody who thought that she was cleaned up around by the time they were like filming Star Wars, no.
She was just on different drugs. That's all.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Oh, Rhino or Wino says, "My coffin shall now look like a burrito." That's fucking brilliant.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
In fact, let's bury him in real tortillas. That way, he's completely biodegradable. It's ecological. See?
Yeah. No, we'll get somebody. We'll get like the dude who made like the world's biggest pizza to use his flat iron, and we'll make a fucking tortilla, and then we'll wrap Rhino in the tortilla and like kick that into a hole.
Best thing to do, actually. Now, you know what? Yeah. So we make a big ass we make a big ass burrito coffin for Rhino there, and at the funeral and everything, you put it on display. Everyone just sees this giant burrito sitting at the end, on the altar there. Everyone gets to walk up and pay their respects, and then when everybody leaves at the wake, you don't let them see the burrito be buried, and you wheel in an actual giant like beef and cheese burrito, and then force everybody to eat it.
Oh, so I was thinking we could make the big burrito, the big tortilla. We lay it in the hole. We put him into it, and then everybody who's there gets to chuck tomatoes at his corpse, and then other
Or or
people
or
with
just handfuls of pico de gallo.
oh no okay, like we gotta have like drunk assholes with like Spencer's Gift style katanas like slicing onions that people throw in the air over the hole. We're like chopping up onions and tomatoes and shit over his
It just
body.
you just like rent an actual taco truck, right? You have it pull up alongside the funeral as the burritos being lowered in. Instead of people like throwing flowers down or putting rocks on the grave like you do for Jews, they just go up and they just reach inside like they just grab a ramekin full of a topping and just dump it in.
Yeah. Let's pour one out
So
for our homie.
oh, and yeah, for anybody just tuning in, welcome to Midweek Saints. This is a show where we talk about what we're going to do with the deceased corpses of members of our audience. If you would like to have us plan your funeral for you, you can go ahead and chuck us some money via Streamlabs, and we'll take it under consideration.
Damn right. Why are we
Yeah,
burying Rhino? He still wants to live. We know.
Yeah,
Rhino
no.
still wants to. We don't want Rhino to die. It's
No.
just like we're gonna make sure that when he
It's
does,
funny when it happens.
everybody remembers his funeral forever because of severe emotional scarring.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, we all got to die someday, so we might as well make fun of it now. But yeah, I love and adore this company beyond. I mean, I think my favorite. I mean, the surfboards were pretty good,
Oh yeah.
but that headaches, aches and pains, sore throat, shivers, better write your will then.
That's pretty tasty right there. Yeah.
Actually, Can I say? Yeah, I'm saving that image.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saving that shit. That's gonna be with me forever.
Excellent.
So yeah, we got one more main one to go through, and then we'll. Okay,
hang on.
you're gonna go through.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We got Okay, Nuggets got some more biddies. You cannot get free money on YouTube like this. Right click mute ads so stream plays through. Dicks up with the pinkies up. Excellent. And also, every time I slide a bit in your cup, I'm reminded of that intimate moment where when your back was turned, the wind was brisk and the Viagra was strong. It reminds me of the same feeling of that night we did that thing with the tube. Oh, with the lube. Oh. Shh. You said you wasn't going to tell anybody.
That must have been a Kilroy. That must have been a Kilroy thing. I knew something. knocked that bird out of the tree. I just didn't know it was that.
Kilroy was weird. Metal Gear Ops 87. When Jeff dies, we should make a big green capsule with the Kekistani logo to put his ashes in. No, that's cool. We don't have to do that. It's totally fine. I'm good.
Just invite. What was it? A Norwegian film crew to film it.
Man, I don't. Yeah. They weren't Norwegian. They were
Danish.
They were Dutch.
Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch.
Dutch are scum. I'm quoting Metalocalypse, by the way. I don't actually think the Dutch are scum.
Kekistani National says crypto Marxists tend not to be very open about their Marxism. She said that the USSR wasn't real communism. Well, I mean, we all know that there's no such thing as real communism. It's never really been tried, right?
Okay, I mean, beyond that too, this isn't the fucking thinkery. I mean, we're not. This isn't exactly a political show. If we can manage to make jokes about communists or Nazis or Democrats, but I repeat myself, we will.
Sure.
But
sure.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, we will. All kinds of everybody except actual fascists is welcome in the Saints community.
Right.
Yeah.
Noble Yeti tips and biddies and said Jeff's casket will be a black horse cock shaped.
Now we're talking. No, giant. You know what? It can look like a giant black butt plug, but if anybody who doesn't understand it automatically asks, be like, oh, he really liked conceptual spaceship designs.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
You see, yeah. See, I want. Yeah. See, I just want my corpse strung up in a forest, high in the treetop, right? Because I don't want just casual mammals getting at my meat, my precious meat. I want to feed the birds, and also after a year or two, I want to just be a skeleton hanging in a spooky forest.
That's right. And then
wouldn't that be fucking awesome?
Yeah, and then you can be in a Jake Paul video. So our next
Yeah.
one is
my entire will has turned me into Halloween decorations.
man found naked in McDonald's women's restroom doing jumping jacks. This is a great story. This is a tremendous
is.
story. I'm really happy about this one. First, let's bring up our guest of honor here. There we go. This
Yeah.
this young man, Brody Tyler Young,
You
Nashville.
can tell he's. I mean, that's the face of a man who's really serious about his physical fitness and just really doesn't like chafing.
That's right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm right there with him, man. Nashville. A Nashville man was arrested after he was found naked inside a McDonald's restroom, and then a day later sniffing paint fumes at a hardware store. Brody Tyler.
Do you think the two are connected?
Oh, of course not. Brody Tyler Young is charged with possession of vapors, trespassing, and public indecency.
Possession of vapors. That's
Ooh.
a thing now.
I've got
I
the
think
vapors.
I think I caught a case of the vapors. No one tell the authorities.
Officers responded to a McDonald's restaurant on July 23rd where they found a naked Young locked inside a stall in the women's restroom, according to an incident report. Young had reportedly been there all day, the officers said. Young smelled of fumes. Mr. Young was erratic and doing jumpy jacks and hitting the wall, the officer wrote. Young had been told to stay away from the business. Officers found Young again.
This wasn't the first time.
No. Officers found Young the following day behind the counter of a customer service desk of a Lowe's store. Young had gone to the paint section and was spraying paint into a Gatorade bottle and huffing the paint, according to an affidavit. Both Young and the Gatorade bottle smelled of spray paint, an officer said. To you, brave paint huffing commando, I salute you.
Yes, I mean it's much as my favorite life coach. He's fond of talking about Brody Young. As Brody Young wrote in his seminal work, "Why Dutch Boy is the best." Physical fitness is optimal to be doing naked in McDonald's, especially if you're overweight. That way, when children come in after eating their Happy Meals, they can see that they need to go home and do their own jumping jacks and clean their rooms. Yeah.
So, have you ever huffed before?
No.
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 Okay.
I've pretty much just done real drugs.
Well, okay. Let me tell you something. There may be some people out there who are like, "Man, what the fuck?
Well,
Why in the world?"
I do remember trying like doing whippets when I was like fucking like
That's not
13
the
or
same.
something.
That's not the same.
Yeah.
Because whippets, you are actually like inhaling a psychoactive
Nitrous oxide.
substance. Yeah. It actually does get you high. Huffing paint doesn't actually get you high. It causes brain damage. Now, that gets you really fucking high. And I mean, wow. Holy shit. Because I have huffed paint. Actually, no, it wasn't paint. It was,
The Huffington paint post.
it was, Glade. It was Glade. When I was a teenager, this chick that was really, really hot and I had a huge crush on her, she asked if I wanted to huff some Glade with her, and I was like, okay, whatever you say. So we snuck into actually a women's bathroom, and we stood on the toilet, and we put a towel over the Glade, and we huffed, and my God, that was one of the highest I have ever been in my life. Only time I ever did it. And
How's it compare to like salvia?
Salvia has more control.
Oh, what? Well, I mean, I've done salvia a few times and never ended up doing naked jumping jacks in a McDonald's. I mean, Wendy's is a different story, but that's just because whenever I see that logo, I'm like,
Right.
oh, I need to get in shape.
Mm-hmm.
But okay,
The huffing is just an absolutely retarded and stupid thing to do, and nobody should ever do it. Like, I'm not proud that I did it. Definitely
like
not
how
proud.
Tickle Trunk says, like, this explains the taint piercing.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe.
and now Queer's interested. Here we go. Looks like it's gonna be story time in a moment.
Oh, Queer doesn't know about my taint piercing. Okay. Well, I'll you and I can talk about it in private later, Queer. But yeah, no, it's really stupid. It's a terrible thing, and you definitely shouldn't do it. But I totally understand why people do, because it actually gets you incredibly high.
That is the same argument behind bath salts and crocodile too. So
Yeah,
No,
kinda.
wait.
Yeah.
No, this happened where? This happened Tennessee,
This Nashville. Yeah.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nashville. This. I mean, I'm a little disappointed to be honest with you. I mean, this sounds like perfect Florida Man material. And Florida Man, if you're watching, somebody's this cat here in Tennessee. There, he's trying to steal your bag. You gonna let that happen? I better see somebody high on bath salts like eating their neighbor's dog tomorrow or some shit like that. Like I mean, you guys can't keep raping alligators. You got to mix it up, otherwise people get it gets bored, it gets boring, gets stale. Yeah,
Man.
and you end up going the way of grade A under A.
Everybody really wants to know the story about the taint piercing.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, man, must I?
I mean, it depends if depends how much you love these people. I mean, they want it, Jeff. They want to hear it.
It's kind of a weird long story, but I guess I could tell the story. I suppose so.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
tell you what.
explain the Cliffs Notes.
Tell you what. You hang out with the chat for just a second. I'm gonna get another beer because I'm almost out on this one, and then I will tell you the story. Hang on, because it's actually got a lot to it.
There we go. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, chat, like I was able to describe a story of multiple felonies in under 3 minutes, I think. So, yeah, I mean, this has got a lot to it. Let's see, Florida is dealing with toxic blooms killing manatees and shit. Let's give Florida a pass. That's true. Florida is like a fucking whirlwind of fucking terrible goings on. I bet he comes back pantsless. Tickle Trunk, he already said he took his pants off earlier. So, yeah, his pants are already off. We're way past that at this point. Strap in, folks. It's about to get real. That's true. LSD-less Maxwell. I love that. Vote Florida off the island 2024. All right. Yeah, no, you're going to get your taint piercing story, guys. Don't worry about this. Jeff, he's told it once before, I believe, and we were actually trying to find a place where we could get YouTube taints piercing, like those little bud things, the metal shit you stick in your face and all that, or in this case, like in your taint. Yeah, I mean, you go ahead and you just smash that one button if you want to see like YouTube taint piercing merch, if you would yourself, perhaps, just sort of pinch and stab that particular bit of that fleshy bridge that we've all got. Gabby G was right on it. Noble Yeti Caffeine Twigger. Yeah, you guys, okay. So now here's the thing. You go ahead and smash 2 if you're not only wanting to see this merch come out, but you'll go out and get your own taint pierced so you can wear it in high fashion. Be a YouTube taint unto yourself. Let's see those 2s rolling in. And not so much. Oh, Tickle Trunks like 3. I don't even want to know what that means. Yeah. See, look. Queer's all about it. So I mean, it's like they say: if you can reach one person, then it's really worthwhile.
Oh boy.
Oh no. See, well, Jeff, while you were gone there, so I told them like, yeah, you're gonna tell this story. Now we got enough ones to where they actually really want to see YouTube taints piercing merch out on the market. So but
maybe even more so to hear the story. It's pretty wild.
Oh well, here's the fun thing though. I said, all right, give me 1s if you want to see this merch, and then I said, give me a 2 if you will actually go and get your own taint pierced. And of course, Queer was the only one to say yes. Everyone else was like, how about no?
Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, so this is a very long time ago. This was about I want to say 2005. Yeah, 2005. Which means I was 23 at the time. And no, wait. Yeah, 23. Okay. Anyway, so I knew a bunch of people who were involved in like the body mod community. They like to hang out quite often. And I used to go to some of their parties quite a bit. And all sorts of weird, random, fucking bizarre shit would happen at these parties. And at one point, I decided that I wanted to get some piercings. I had my ears pierced, but really nothing else. So, a friend of mine said that I could get the bro discount. And I was like, the bro discount? Well, that sounds good to me. And my girlfriend was like, I really want my nipples pierced. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this shit. Let's go. So we march on down to the piercing shop. And my friend introduces me to the guy who owns the shop and says he would like the bro discount. And he's like, oh, yeah? Cool. Cool, man. Yeah, I'll do a bro discount today. Sure. What do you guys want? I'm like, well, my girlfriend wants her nipples. I was thinking that I wanted to get also my nipples and my tongue. And he's like, okay, all right. He's looking me over. All right. This is what we're going to do. We'll do your tongue. We're going to do your nostril. My nostril? He's like, yeah, shut up. Don't talk. Don't talk. We're going to do both your nipples. And I'm going to do your Prince Albert. And I went, ha 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 ha. No, absolutely not. And for those who don't know, the Prince Albert is to go through the underside of the dick out the pee hole, and it's a ring. And I did not want that. I did not like the idea of a needle going into my dick. Just not into it. It's not my thing, not my bag. And he says, well, fine. But you need to get a genital piercing because that's what the bro discount is. And I look at my friend, and my friend's just, I'm like, okay, fine. Well, what? I'm not getting a dick piercing. He's like, fine. Well, pierce your taint. My taint? You could pierce a chode? He's like, oh yeah, I've done a ton of them. People love them. They're great.
That's not a chode.
Yeah.
No.
The taint, the chode, the grundle, the fleshy fun bridge. Yeah.
No. A chode is a dick that's like wider than it is long.
Maybe in New England, but not here.
You guys got some fucked up slang out there. I don't know what y'all thinking.
The moral of the story is Jeff is incredibly impressionable. Yes, yes, I am. I
get him to do 2 shows a week with me. Yeah, I'd say so.
So, yeah, some people are saying chode is a small fat dick. Not over here on the West Coast, man. I don't know.
You guys get all kinds of things wrong. It's okay.
Whatever. But yeah, the grundle, the taint, and so he throws the needles through my girlfriend's nipples. She gets her nipples done. Then he does mine. He does my nostril. It hurts a little bit, but it's fine. Does my tongue. I'm a little shocked. Does my nipples. I screamed. I'm not even gonna lie. I screamed. I had really sensitive nipples, and that shit.
Keyword had.
And I'm like, ah! Ooh, wow, that sucked. And he's like, yeah, I can't wait to do the next one. And then he stabs the other one. Now,
sorry, Leslie Maxwell, taint Gooch. Ooh, Gucci gang makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So, at this point, he's like, all right, take your clothes off. And I take all my clothes off. I'm standing there naked. And he has me lift my balls, and he's like using a marker to mark where he's going to pierce. Now, I'm so fucking out of it because I just had 4 fresh holes punctured through me. And, your endorphins start popping off, and you get pretty fucking high from getting piercings, especially, 4 in a row, especially ones that, actually really, really hurt. So I go to steady myself, and I reach up, and I accidentally hit this wooden skull decoration thing that he had hanging on the wall. And it falls off the wall, and it breaks on the ground. And this is a very large, angry-looking man who I had heard rumors about cattle prodding people if they fucked with him in the shop. So I'm instantly nervous and instantly freaked out. Like, oh shit, I'm about to get my ass beat. Everything is gonna go wrong now. So he very calmly stands up, looks me dead in the eye and says, get on the fucking table now. Oh god, okay, oh god. So I get up on the table and I'm sitting down like a dog that's really scared, with I'm keeping my butt down. And this big monster of a man walks over, grabs my shoulders, and slams me onto the table so my ass goes straight up into the air. Now, something you have to keep in mind is while this is going on, my girlfriend is still in the room and my buddy is still in the room. And I look back and my buddy has a camera and is taking pictures of my asshole and laughing hysterically. I've never seen these pictures. They never surfaced. They never showed up. But somewhere out there in the world are pictures of my brown eye sticking straight up. My whole fruit salad just hanging down. So the dude starts piercing my damn taint. He gets it halfway through and starts twisting the needle, being like, I don't know, you're gonna break my shit in my studio. I'm like, dude, just do it. Please just do it. I don't know, man. You sure you want it? Dude, just fucking do it. I'm screaming. Because I'm just so freaked out that this dude is going to fuck me up. Slams it through, puts the ring in, and then rears back and slaps my ass so hard, I go flying off the fucking table. and I crumple into a little naked ball on the floor like, oh my god, oh my god. Now the crazy thing is, it didn't hurt at all. It's actually a very easy piercing to get. Didn't hurt at all. I was just freaked out because there was a giant biker-looking dude who was right by my butthole with a needle.
About to stab you, about to stab you, your fun bridge there, huh?
Yeah, and he did.
Yeah.
And I had that piercing for a very long time until I got really wasted drunk last year. So violently crazy drunk, and it was out for so fucking long that when I woke up the next morning somewhere I didn't recognize, I felt like something was different and it was gone.
I mean, you're lucky you didn't just end up like going through an MRI. Oh God, we've caused another injury.
Ooh, that would have been bad. Holy shit.
Does he have Obamacare? Oh, good. Then who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yep, that's the story behind Jeff's taint piercing. It's been told once before, and that was the initial actually concept of offering a line of barbell merch with YouTube taints in a nice little glass bead. But that's really something you find more like a Burning Man kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say. So, yeah. So there you guys go. You get the story of Jeff getting his taint pierced.
Yep.
Now we do have one more fun little news story that we could go into, or if you like, we could actually just begin rolling, bring people in, and then maybe get into it if the guest wants to.
Let me look and see. You know, I almost just kind of want to mention, like, kind of brush through it real quick, because honestly, I think people really need to check this thing out. Have you been watching this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
The show? No, I haven't. I haven't had
no?
a chance to watch I haven't had a chance to watch the show.
Bro, okay.
Well, no, I've just got to go through Amazon Prime, and actually, by the way, quick reminder: if you have Amazon Prime, they can offer you one free subscription here, as well as also you can actually go to Amazon Prime and either watch like Starz, Showtime, this sort of thing, or you can take at least like the free trial. That's how I watched Spider-Man: Homecoming and found it's not as bad as I thought it might be.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah, but I plan on giving it a watch. Now, as somebody who's running for state legislature myself, I do find when people are like, "Aren't you worried about your YouTube history fucking up your campaign?" To which I say, apparently it takes a lot more than that.
Yes. So we got Georgia lawmaker quits after dropping pants and shouting slurs on Sacha Baron Cohen show.
Real quick too, Tickle Trunk I guess has to I guess he's leaving. So night, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Thank you for stopping by and for all the love you've shown us and the rest of the audience.
Night, buddy. So this guy, this is incredible. Georgia State Representative Jason Spencer, who bared his buttocks and yelled racial slurs on camera in an episode of Sacha Baron Cohen's satirical Showtime series Who is America, will resign from the legislature despite an earlier insistence that he would stay. The spokesman said that he was going to step down. In the episode of Who is America that aired Sunday, Spencer appears with Cohen, who poses as fictitious character ex-Israeli intelligence Captain Eran Morad, who claims to be making an anti-terrorism video. Spencer is persuaded to use the N-word and drop his pants in what Cohen's character describes as a demonstration of terrorism deterrence tactics. Now,
I've seen plenty of clips from this too, and he did a lot more than that. Like he's like, here's how you can check if there is bomb under a burqa. You have to convince him you are Chinese. He gives him a selfie stick and an iPhone.
Yeah.
Dude's wandering around this dojo, and he's like, yes, good. Oh, ching chong, konnichiwa, sushi, how you doing? And it's
Ho Chi Minh City, blah blah blah. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's basically how to upskirt. Because I mean, if there's one thing you want to do, especially in an Arabic country, is get caught doing upskirt iPhone shots of women in burqas. They love that shit.
Yeah. Now, like, the thing that's fascinating about this too, and you know, there are some people who are really pissed off at Sacha Baron Cohen for the things that he's been doing with this show, but like what I find fascinating, and this show really is honestly amazing. It's amazing to watch, and I don't actually think the show is funny. I really don't, except for really specific instances. His take on like the uber white woke liberal is pretty hilarious. But like the things where he gets some of these lawmakers to say some of these incredibly fucked up things, I don't think that's funny. I think that's fucking terrifying. But it's illuminating that it's actually happening, and I think it's definitely worth watching.
Well, one thing I do find funny though, most of the people that I've seen like pissed off and upset at Cohen for his show are the same sort of people who like retweet James O'Keefe, Project Veritas and his like Sting videos and shit. And yeah, I mean, some of them, like when he got the Twitter developer to be like, "Oh yeah, we're just trying to shadow ban to get people not to show up." Like, okay, yeah, that's, well done with that one. But I keep going back to like his sting here in New Hampshire, where he was trying to prove voter fraud was a thing after he gets arrested for fraudulently trying to register to vote here.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, I was really on board with the Project Veritas stuff for quite a while until like I kind of started noticing that a lot of his videos were really not adding up anymore. Like there were a couple of decent ones, but some of them just kind of fell flat pretty bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, and when it comes to Sacha Baron Cohen too, I mean, this show, from all the reviews I've read and the skits I've seen, it does seem to kind of follow the course of like his general career, and generally like the Ali G show was pretty funny in times.
Yeah.
Borat was hilarious. Bruno, for me, not so much. The Dictator, which was his attempt to like write an actual comedy scripted film, it just sucked. Baron Cohen, he's hit and miss in like in some of the most extreme ways. Either the shit he's doing is fucking genius, or it's just it's kind of flat. So
right.
yeah.
Well, I mean, and you know what's fascinating too is like, actually no, I don't know why I even segued it that way. What I was gonna say is the reason why I thought Bruno was so good was I watched it in the theater on opening day, and a lot of people who had gone to see Borat were in the theater, and so the Bruno thing happens, and then when it's like Bruno, 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 and like there's just dick, like so much penis on the screen, like bam, 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 bam. The first time I saw all these like older looking dudes just getting up and walking out. They were not very happy about it. And the second time it was like, Bruno, dick, 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 dick. The only time I've ever talked during a movie, and I just screamed out, "We get it, you're gay!" And most of the theater thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, the character really, I mean, the character worked on the Ali G show when it was like a series of skits. But, I mean, like in him trying to make Borat a film, I remember because I used to watch the Ali G on HBO when they had him back in the day. And he had his Borat skits. And when I found out there was a Borat movie coming out, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. And then, and then he pulled it off flawlessly. And then, yeah, Bruno, though, I mean, Bruno as a character and as a bit, it only works in small doses. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, back to the story here, though. I mean, like, yeah, as far as this show of his goes, I love the concept. I think a lot, like, I think that whole, what was it, the kindergartner's gun?
Kindergardians.
I mean, the very fact that you could actually get people who take themselves seriously to pose with, like, hand puppet automatic pistols. Being like, yeah, the only thing to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good kid with a gun. They actually fell for it. And I mean, you get Joe Walsh, who notorious fucking Twitterspurg, who's like, okay, I was duped. And at first he was like, he got me. And I was like, hey, good sport. And then he's like, we need to boycott this. This is terrible. Like, no, you're terrible, dude. You were the one exposed being terrible. That was you.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would probably, I think back to browsing, he's got a point in the chat. He says that it does seem to have a specific political slant. I would say yes, but the thing that's interesting about it is if you were to try and find radical actual lawmakers, like radical left-wing lawmakers that would actually do something as equally fucking crazy, I would really love for him to do it. I mean, but he tried.
Yeah, he tried getting Bernie Sanders, and Sanders like pretty much just got like old man befuddled and bewildered right away.
Well,
I don't know what this is about.
He does he does that character again with like another left wing lawmaker as well, and they shut him down. Or no, it was actually Ted Koppel. They do it with Ted Koppel, and Ted Koppel has nothing to do with it. He's like, no, this is stupid. And so, but that's the thing that I'm trying to think of, and I'm trying to think of it actively right now. Is there currently a left-leaning or even full-blown left-wing American politician out there that would
Maxine
do
Waters.
maybe that would do something as crazy as kindergartens? I don't. Maybe Maxine, you could get her to say some pretty crazy
Well,
shit.
I mean, it would be great. He could pose as like an old ex-Soviet Russian man and get that Cortez, what's her name?
Ocasio
The
Ocasio Cortez. Yeah.
Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah, I mean, just like it's like, just sit down. And the great thing about bread lines was that you got to know your neighbors. And here in America, you do not know your neighbors. This is why I think bread lines would be helpful. And
I don't think she'd fall for it
yeah.
though.
No, I mean, I'm sure you could find someone to. I mean, just go, find a Marxist gender studies professor. They'd probably go for it.
Right. Well, and that's kind of my point. Is like, if we're talking just about lawmakers and politicians,
Ooh, Baldbag says Dan Arrow.
he's not a politician either,
No, but
or a lawmaker.
Comrade Starbucks falls, as you can tell by his Twitter feed, falls for anything. So,
Right. I mean, I would love for him to sting some of the crazy far lefties like Dan Arrow. That'd be amazing. But if we are just talking about lawmakers or politicians, like, by all means, if you guys think that because I don't buy the idea that Ocasio Cortez is nowhere near as crazy as a guy who is willing to pull down his pants, run at a dude with his bare ass, saying, "If you touch it, you're gay," and
no,
then scream out the N word over and over and over again.
she's not crazy. She's just,
Right,
I mean, like when you consider the fact that she's a Brooklyn bartender, right? So, I mean,
right.
she's living hand to mouth like anybody else who actually works for a living in New York City is. And when you take young people, probably with like less than robust political educations, and you tell them about like just like the broad grand vision of socialism, they're probably all about it. I do think Maxine Waters would
Is
potentially be
probably the
crazy enough to
closest.
fall for this shit.
Yes,
But
she's
I
potentially crazy enough.
yeah, but I mean, I think one of the great things about this, despite the fact that like, not all the jokes land, not all the bits are actually funny, and he's really giving it a try. And his goal here is less to make a statement and more to actually make a joke. There's this modern meme now, like, oh, the left can't meme. And that's pretty much true. The left is shit at memes. But it's almost like people have had this like sudden amnesia where they forgot that for like decades upon decades, the left kind of owned satire and comedy because it wasn't as batshit crazy as it is these days.
Right.
It was opposing batshit crazy horse shit like the moral majority, the evangelical right wing, all that.
Sure.
And they had ammo to go on. And then these younger people, these millennials who are eating, who are just like, scarfing down avocado toast and quitting high paying jobs, they're sort of taking over the definition of the thing. And now, yeah, naturally the best way that like, certain elements within the right have to come back at that is with humor. And when you have something that is easy to make fun of and obvious, then yeah, you got a comedy fucking gold mine.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. MC Lucas just said RIP the Colbert Report. That was my jam back in the day. Yeah. Colbert Report, Daily Show, they were fucking hilarious.
Yep.
And now Colbert's gone and he's doing like, like tame as fuck late night shit. And the Daily Show is, it's what like Trevor Noah's personal sounding board so that Liz, what's her name, can sort of virtue signal as to what a great feminist she is. Yeah, it's the tip, it's turning back and forth. And, don't be surprised if you don't see like, because I mean, take your average stand-up comedian. The best ones throughout the last 50 years have been not lefty, but of a liberal mindset. For you to try and say that like George Carlin is a trad con guy, sorry, it doesn't fucking fly.
No, definitely
Yeah.
doesn't. Definitely doesn't. I don't know, man. It's wild shit. Well, okay, so what we're gonna do now? What we're gonna
Oh yeah.
do
By the way,
now?
the long and short of that story though is he's actually dropped out. He's quit.
Oh,
It
yeah,
should
yeah.
be noted. It should be noted though he already got beaten in his primary, so he had like 5 months left in the office to begin with. So him dropping out after making a giant ass of himself and his own giant ass makes perfect sense.
Well, and there's also something important to note too. Like in one instance, there's this one really specific moment. And I think it's a really important moment that people should pay attention to when they do watch the show. Um, he goes as Aran Morad. There's his like Israeli character, he goes in and has a meeting with a Republican lawmaker, and the Republican lawmaker is like, "This is insane. Like, you really expect like lawmakers to sign up without really understanding what they're saying? Like, you really think people are going to do that? That's bullshit." And obviously that guy knows what he's talking about. He's a smart person. But it's contrasted by immediately then having actual political pundits and lawmakers doing exactly what that guy was saying. So there is a contrast there, that there are actually good Republicans. There are good conservative voices out there that are not insane.
Yeah.
But look at these insane people, and this is actually a problem. So you can be disparaging on the bias that you feel that the show has, but you can't really argue against the fact that these people really did fucking do that, and nobody held a gun to their head, and none of them were tricked into it.
Yeah, what was the...
They're really, like, when you're reading a teleprompter and it's talking about teaching young kids how to use mortars, you can say, hang on a second, this is a bad idea. But they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, like, well, I mean, like, there was one troll, which the concept, I could see why it was funny, but I also see why it didn't really work in the bit. Oh, good night, Larry. Oh, by the way, yeah, Tickle Trunk did want us to read his last message before he left. So I mean, if you want, no, Tickle Trunk had to bow out, and he tipped us out with a message. You pull that up, and I'll just point this out. If you guys want to, I can't remember the name of him, but he was a Republican candidate or lawmaker opposed of soliciting young girls, I believe, for sex, and he's like, we have in Israel developed this sex offender warrant. It goes off whenever, and then it's like beep. Oh, wait, is that your jacket? It was a good bit.
Oh my god, that was a fucking amazing bit.
Yeah, it was a great bit. It didn't really work out because he didn't get him to sit through the whole thing. You know, he just kind of like, he just walked off saying like, in my whole time I've never been accused of sexual impropriety, and I'm thinking like, I'm pretty sure that's why you were selected for the bit, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's I mean, that was a decent bit, and it got kind of ruined by the fact that the guy kind of picked up right away on the fact that it was a bit.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you know, that's something at least. So before I catch up with these messages real quick, to let everybody know, if you're new to the show, go ahead and hit the Discord link here on the page, and in just a few minutes, get into the waiting room in the Discord. In a few minutes, we're gonna roll and get some people in here to hang out with us and round out the show. Let's see. The Nugget says, why do you think the Kilroy drunk stream cut off after 1 and 5 seconds? Hashtag date rape. Uh-oh. Uncle Joe says, I know huffing paint is bad, but in my subjective opinion, chewing tobacco is more disgusting. Yeah, more disgusting, but less brain damage inducing.
Yeah, chewing tobacco doesn't leave you with that lovely sort of like usually gold or silver Joker smile like you see on Reno 911. You know the one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, YouTube taints piercings because you too can have something flashy around a dick and an asshole. But I kid. Ooh, that's good.
I like that.
And Sergeant Buck says, a lot of diehard socialists I meet are just people with 9-to-5 jobs that they really hate. Yeah, yep. Yeah. And that's like the panic. The panic of socialism and the commies and things like that. A lot of these people just hate their fucking jobs, or they can't get their fucking health insurance and things like that, and somebody sold them on a stupid idea. But I think a lot of people get sold on stupid ideas. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad people.
If you really want to find out what like a self-professed commie, especially on places like Twitter or whatever it might be, while they're going off about Marx, ask them their opinions of the work of Friedrich Engels and his contributions. They usually know next to fucking nothing about Engels, because it's honestly like Engels, while at the same time promoting the version of socialism they dream of, where everyone has access to a good steak and weekends in the country, was also the guy who really pushed the idea that we need to take anybody who disagrees with us and shoot them.
Agreed. Yeah. So, all right, first up, we are going to get, you forgot to meet me in Discord, didn't you?
No, you're muted in Discord.
Oh, okay, cool. First up, we're going to have BreadMasterPBJ.
Hey.
BreadMasterPBJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta gotta get my volume mixer up here because for some reason Skype likes to turn everything down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, say something.
God, wow. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Bubba.
Um,
Good to talk to you finally.
Yeah, I just heard the you got Eric Engels, and then here I got dragged in. So
Mhm.
either I'm really far behind, or you guys are really far ahead.
Oh,
What the
we
fuck,
are
man?
we are leaps and bounds, man.
All right. Well,
I
guys.
am your future self.
You're me now, cynical. Fucking cynical. Almost middle-aged at this point, even though I'm 23. Feel old as fuck.
Sorry. I thought you were like responding to somebody named Cynical in the chat. I'm like, what are you? I just said that though.
No. All right. Well,
Wait,
You'll
who's-
no. Here's the great thing about being cynical at 23. You really learn to master it as you barrel into your 30s, and Oh yeah, no. Trust me. If you think everything's fucked now, you'll find ways to like imagine it being fucked in the near future. It's gonna be great.
don't leave me alone with my imagination. Things get weird.
So what's how's your Thursday been going,
How's your
homie?
taint? How's your taint?
How's your taint?
My taint is unpierced and well. My back all day has been feeling like somebody's been driving a hot knife to it, but overall, we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Your
Don't know
taint
what the
pierced.
fuck I did.
Yeah, that'll make everything hurt less.
Yeah.
But not until we release the merch line.
Right.
Yeah. We want. If there's one thing we here at the midweek YouTube late night Saints really want, it's you stuffing our merch into your body.
Which part of my body you talking?
Right? Yeah. No, I felt kind of correct. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I did think for a long time that and this is something that me and Nick actually kind of discussed at one point when we were thinking about. I think we talked about this. If we ever did do like a Patreon for the show, like one of the max level ones, is we would do casts of our dicks, like those like dildo kits.
I vaguely remember this.
Oh no! Just do what the porn stars do every now and then. They get a fucking cast of their fucking vagina, and they just have that be the goddamn pocket pussy brand.
Yeah, but only one of us has a vagina.
Right, and I have a dick.
Yeah, Nick. What the fuck, man?
Listen. I mean, we could never decide on pricing. So I mean, this pussy ain't free, boy. Nah.
$50 flat.
It's like gold level patrons get this man's boy pussy.
Well, Jeff will have to stop doing hats then, and he'll start doing fucking plasters of his dick.
Yeah.
It's
Then he'll inevitably fall far behind on those too. God.
It's a vinyl rubber copy with replaceable felt on the inside. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I've given this some thought. Christ. You don't bitch as much about your channel dying without thinking of ways to sell your own brown eye.
My channel can't die because I have no channel.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's like, and look, I ain't ever gonna get prolapse because everybody just gets to enjoy the copies.
My name's not Sasha Grey. All will be well.
Ooh. Sasha Grey. Yeah, no, I mean, but there was some talk about doing molds and things like that, but I'm really glad that we didn't do that.
Let me guess.
I'm glad we brought the idea back up. We're gonna be having a
guess
strategy. Oh, sorry.
Anahata was the one that brought it up first, or was it Queer? I need to know who did it first. Who gave you guys the idea?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think maybe even I was the one who came up with the idea. I can't remember.
No. That's impossible. We're both YouTube content creators. There's no way either of us came up with an original idea.
That's a good point. That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of these things we just had to figure out. Like, all right, well, who in the audience really wanted to have that sort of souvenir, that sort of souvenir dick mold thing.
Queer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Queer on this one.
Yep.
Yeah, but are you? Did you? I mean, like now that you won the lottery here, you got in. You probably should have bought a Powerball ticket with that luck, but hey, hindsight's 2020. Do you think that is that a product you're interested in? Of a vinyl mold of my erect wedding tackle.
You know what I'll do? I'll take the mold and call it Leroy Jr. Fucking give it a plaque and nail it on my wall.
There you go. That's not a bad idea. That's a pretty good idea.
That's also not a bad association. I mean, like being told that you're a smaller version of a 12-pound mass of rubber.
It's just a
Yeah, I'll
smaller
take it.
version of a guy that had a taint ring at one point.
Yeah, listen, I mean, like, I'm a content creator, but I got a fragile ego as it is. I'll take what I can get. So thank you.
Shit. Oh my god, somebody said their channel is cosplaying Terry Schiavo.
I need links.
No, wait. I'm sorry.
I need links.
Ben Pie was doing that with his Sleepy Boy stream like a week or two ago.
Yeah, he was.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to pull that plug on that shit plenty of times. In fact, I even got their channel manager to rename it. Fuck, I can't even remember what he renamed it for me now, but he was like, don't say I never did anything for you. Wait, I think it was the Kevin Spacey Fun Time Hour or something like that. No, the Kevin Spacey Sleepy Boy Fun Time Hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So the question is, Nick, if that's the case, are you playing the 14-year-old Twinkie Jew?
Depends on the settlement. Depends on the settlement.
You'll drop the charges. It's okay.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like, well, if you gotta be fucked by somebody, don't you want it to be the guy who played Lex Luthor?
That movie was awful.
I'm
and we all
talking
know
about
it.
Gene
Stop it.
Hackman.
Man.
I'm sorry. I will never forgive Kevin Spacey for playing Lex Luthor in Superman Returns. I will never forget. No.
That was pretty bad. That was
the only good part of the movie.
And even then, it was bad.
No, Cal Penn was bad.
Cal Penn was really bad.
Which is why they didn't give him any lines.
Yeah.
Literally none.
The saddest thing about that movie was Brandon Routh actually made a really good Superman. He really did. He made a great Superman. His performance was great. He had definitely the look, but everything else about that movie just did not work. It sucked. It was terrible.
Yeah. Like the whole floating island made of kryptonite.
Yeah, that was dumb.
It's like,
And
it's
this is
dumb,
funny.
but I can see that being in a comic book.
Well, I love it too, though, because like this is where we're at with movies, especially superhero movies. We look at something like that and we say, "A floating island made of kryptonite." That was dumb, right? Yet the Superman movies that everyone pretty much universally loves, rightfully so, it was an epic part of our childhoods. Superman just flies around the world backwards to make time go back,
Right.
and we're fine with that.
Or even better, what he used to do is fucking back when they gave Superman powers for the week. It's like, hey, we'll have him hold a plant and it'll grow because the solar radiation he emits. What?
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain point, if you're gonna indulge in comic book nerd culture, superheroes, all that shit, you have to come to the realization that Superman is a terrible character. He's awful.
Always has been, always will be, but I'll still watch the shit.
Exactly. No, I mean his character made perfect sense back in the heyday of comics when they were originally just like, just things to sell kids dog shit products on those advertisements. When it was like, and it was a more simple time. So yeah, you have a hero who can do everything because you naturally assume the hero is always going to win. Give him all the powers. Fuck it, makes perfect sense.
Well,
but these days, I mean,
people,
like
Superman and Captain America are the exact same. Like their products are the exact same type of thing. They're fucking war propaganda.
Yeah. Well, they were war propaganda and all that. But I mean, more than that, I mean, you take, the reason Batman is probably the most genuinely celebrated DC character is because, like, he has no superpowers. He's just a badass detective with,
that and his parents died.
That and his parents died, which everyone's like, hey, how can you not find that funny? But like Superman, you take Justice League, right? Like the only way they could make Superman interesting in that movie if they gave him temporary amnesia, so he tries to kill everyone for about 6 minutes.
Don't forget, it was really itchy.
Yeah. Oh, it was really itchy. Yeah, it was really itchy
dying
being
was
dead.
Really itchy. Yeah.
It was almost as itchy as my mustache. Wait. Oh,
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. I can forget about that version of Doomsday and rejoice at the new one they just released this past month.
With the death of Superman. Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. One of the main reasons why people don't like Superman is because they don't really understand Superman. Superman, like, somebody mentioned the Kill Bill explanation of Superman, and that's true. His secret identity is actually his human self, and that's kind of like the story wise element to him that's interesting. But functionally speaking, Superman is interesting because Superman is effectively a Mary Sue. You know, he is the most powerful. He is the most commanding force. He is in fact like a perfect character. He has zero character flaws. There are zero character flaws to Superman. So the lazy writer is the guy who's like, well, I'm going to make Superman evil. That's bullshit. That's lazy writing. That's dumb. That is super fucking dumb. That is the dumbest thing on the planet. To actually write Superman takes a very specific frame of mind, and it's not impossible. And a great Superman story is a legendary super story. Now, probably the best one, and this is just my personal opinion, is a very short run called All-Star Superman. And in the story, Superman, because of a plot by Lex Luthor, ends up getting infected with effectively super cancer. He gets so supercharged.
I think I remember hearing about this story.
Yeah, he gets so supercharged with power that effectively he gets his equivalent of virulent, malignant super cancer. And he's dying. But while he's dying, his powers increase exponentially to the point where it is unfathomable how powerful he is. And the whole series is Superman effectively fulfilling these like prophecies and these epic, unbelievable accomplishments that only Superman could do before he eventually dies. And that is an incredibly well-written story. You don't have to compare Superman to anybody else. You don't have to compare his humanity to anything else. You can take the story and you can go completely apeshit with it, and it works really, really well. The problem with Superman is you can't write him in the context of humanity or base him off of other characters. You have to write a story just for Superman, or it's dog shit. Total dog shit.
So I take it that you don't like Injustice at all?
No, I think Injustice is one of the better usages of Superman. Except I hate that they had to do the lazy thing where they turned Superman into a bad guy. But they at least had such an incredible, so much.
The reasoning was more sound this time around.
Right. They had a lot more going on with it. That wasn't focused on Superman, and that made it pretty incredible. So I think that was a really good story.
Okay.
It's one of those things though. I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of the Hulk in a sense, and it was interesting to see like the different ways Marvel took the Hulk, because the Hulk eventually, he went from just being a wimpy scientist guy who grows into big, super strong Green Man to like the Hulk in the modern iteration is he's an indestructible like world-ending character. And like in order to like make that work, they had to like fling him off and like give him like greater battles and shit. There was an entire series where Hulk ended the world, came back and just took vengeance on everybody by killing everybody.
Oh yeah, no, that's my favorite Hulk story. That's the thing.
And that's the thing though, is when you reach a level with a character where they're effectively like sort of just their powers are like beyond compare. There's no taking them down. Well, the only thing you can do is to continue to sort of up the stakes with them, which sort of takes it out of the classic superhero genre where it's this powerful hero saves the world, and more it becomes like this powerful hero exists just to defeat increasingly powerful villains. Like Superman had his time, and the fact that they've kept him alive, not just through nostalgia, but there've been storylines written where it really worked. I mean, it's that's sort of a testament to it. But all the same, I do still think in terms of like heroes, though he is the iconic sort of, you say superhero, you think Superman. I still can't help but feel as though he's it just doesn't really work for me anymore. It's like, you take you take the movies, especially like if you put Superman in it, every vehicle by which he could be crippled or wounded or like lessened and put in danger is so obviously fucking artificial. They put that together specifically so that they could get that sort of rising action second act hero gets brought down, can he come back from it moment, as opposed to something where it's like with the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight series, with the Batman series Nolan did.
Mm-hmm.
That was good because that made that hero feel fucking real.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even to a certain extent, the Marvel universe on Netflix, right? When it comes to the Punisher, Daredevil, everyone except pretty much Iron Fist and Luke Cage, in my opinion. And
I
the
don't
second,
watch the Netflix shit for Marvel.
some of the no,
So-
I mean, Daredevil's been pretty good. Iron Fist, in my opinion, kind of garbage.
Not kinda.
Yeah, absolute garbage. Luke Cage, like the first season, come into the second season, and I'm like, okay, how are they going to figure out a way to make the indestructible man destructible now? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones, first season, brilliant. Second season, yeah, girl power, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Punisher
I mean,
was
with those
fucking
ones,
awesome.
what?
Punisher was fucking awesome.
Punisher was fucking awesome, and part of the reason you take every one of those Marvel characters, right? The only one between them with no special advantage or abilities is Punisher. He's just really good at fucking killing people. He's got no special powers. He's just got guns.
Would Iron Man count?
No, I wouldn't count him. I wouldn't count him. Because like Iron Man. So there's a difference between Iron Man and Batman, and that's Batman does have fantastical equipment, but really not that far of fantastical equipment. It's always like, maybe 10 years from now.
Most of his like best.
It's always so
equipment-
far in the future where it's just like whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
Batman's best tech is either shit that the NSA is fucking us all over with now, or it's some new way for him not to die by jumping off a roof.
Right. Whereas Iron Man just keeps getting like more and more and more and more sci-fi. So like I don't really think it's very fair to compare the two. I would, however, make a comparison between Batman and Punisher. In that obviously Batman has a one up on him because he does have better tech and he's got a lot more money, a lot more resources. But they both have that firm, very real, very human drive and dedication to what they do, And so I don't know. I like
I mean,
it.
that's kind of even what makes Spider-Man work, right? Because like Spider-Man, yeah, he's got powers. He's got certain powers. He's got like these abilities, and he's got his like web shooters and shit. But he's not this like, I can beat the shit out of God kind of hero. He's still just like, he's it's similar to Daredevil in a way, except the arcs maybe aren't as big sometimes. But yeah, I mean, he's going after bank robbers. He's going after criminals, and he's using like what is an effect, like comparatively limited set of powers to get the job done. And even then, it's still acceptable. Daredevil's the same way. Like I still love the way Electric Nuke covered Daredevil.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like, yeah, Iron Fist can like, crack a man in half with his fist. But oh God, you hookers and bike thieves better watch out. The parkour master is after you now.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
well, BreadMasterPBJ, anything you want to share with us this week?
There's this guy I want to shill. His name's Charlie Berens. Pretty much, I'm from Wisconsin, and pretty much this guy takes the whole persona of fucking cheesehead,
Wisconsin.
goes out to nature to Wisconsin.
Oh gosh.
How do you spell
Yeah,
his
no,
last
it's
name?
pretty much Berens, and he has this thing called the Manitowoc Minute because he lived in this place called Manitowoc. It's not that far from Green Bay, and he just does this whole like 2 to 3 minute shtick on. He just does random news, and he's it's more. I don't know what it is, but it's just I enjoy watching it.
I just saw a fucking Manitowoc Minute Craigslist kicker roundup. Like, dude, okay.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. He goes on Craigslist and looks up random shit that people are selling.
Oh.
He just
Oh.
Sounds great.
it's all family friendly. Stop it. Stop it.
No,
It's all
no,
family friendly.
no. I'm just thinking like, yeah, this sounds like something I need to check out. Because if there's one thing we know, it's online reviews are pretty amazing. We got to do that again. by the way.
I know. We got to do our consumer advocacy special again.
Mm.
We're just working into the show.
That's true.
Eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thanks, buddy. Thanks for hopping in and hanging out with us.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good talking to you, Bob. So what we got next? Oh, and by the way, I just need to correct. I saw Giovanna Liviana in the chat a little bit ago said something about the original Punisher movie had David Hasselhoff in it. I don't know if you mean that was like original casting, but the original Punisher movie was starring Dolph Lundgren. And
David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that was terrible.
It was great. What are you talking about, dude? Dolph Lundgren has a fucking. I think he has a master's in biochemical engineering or some shit like
Oh
that.
no! I was talking about Hasselhoff playing Nick Fury.
Hasselhoff is perfect. I don't want to hear anything else. Zestra tipped us out with 1,500 biddies. Have a great weekend, boys. Sorry about Patreon. Hope this helps. XOXO. Thank you, love. Yeah, no, Patreon can fucking suck my dick right now. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be paying my rent in cigarette butts, and there's no shortage of them out on my porch, so I'll be fine.
There you go.
I'll be like, don't you guys understand the recycling value if you ship these things to Taiwan? What do they do with them? I don't know. Ask the Taiwanese.
All right.
Oh, by the way, if you guys want to go into the Gen Con Twitch chat, because I know that it's still going on, and they're like, banning anybody who actually references Jeremy. Let them know, like, better nerd culture talk going on, and you can even talk about Jeremy if you want to over here at YouTube. Midweek Saints, Midweek Saints, / Midweek Saints. Go fuck yourself, Gen Con. Don't let people get punched.
There's some people who are asking what happened to Patreon. Because of some weird bug that happened with Patreon.
No, it was no bug.
Who knows what the fuck actually it was.
They already tried to say that it was partially their fault because they've been trying to establish a global platform.
Right, but basically, a quarter of most people's Patreon pledges were denied. So, like, a quarter of people's, like, income. Yep. It's pretty frustrating. All right, so next up we have... I don't remember this person. Palatinen Pasunen. You gotta unmute yourself there.
And please clarify.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, hello.
Hey.
Hello.
How do you pronounce the name?
Poliittinen Possunen. It's Finnish.
Ah, how you doing today?
It's all him.
Not bad. Not bad.
No. So, are you Finnish?
Yeah, I'm from Finland.
Excellent. I'm mostly Finnish.
What time is it in Finland right now?
5 in the morning.
That's fucking dedication.
Damn.
I'm unemployed, so
Don't
I have time.
Spoil it.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
You see, we here at the Saints, we have such a dedicated fan base that they stay up until 5 a.m. in the morning to watch.
Yep, they say fucking job. I'm gonna watch Midweek Saints on Twitch because Twitch is better than YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this is better than YouTube because you guys are funny on this side because the format isn't fucking everything up, and you can flow better. I would say. But yeah, sorry.
That's my baby.
Wait, so you like the Twitch show more than the YouTube show?
Yeah. You have better flow in here.
I think I tend to agree. I mean, we had a pretty good flow on Sunday for a while, but like I think a lot of those logistical problems that we were talking about just kind of, I don't know, man. I just, it's so much fun to do the Thursday show by comparison because it's so much more laid back. Well,
I mean, yeah, it's funny. I've generally felt like there's less on the line with the Thursday show, and therefore it ends up being better somehow. But then again, it's kind of like the formula. Because here's the fun thing: you say the format fucks everything up on Sunday. The best Sunday shows are always the ones that we literally pull out of our ass at the last minute. Yep. Like if we've got a guest booked and we've got all the news items set and we've got the cringe and we got everything all set. If that is ready within 24 hours of the show, like, within or above 24 hours of the show, it always seems to go kind of flat. But if it's one of these things where it's like, oh fuck, that's right, we've got a show to do tonight, shit, and we pull it together at the last minute, those always seem to be the best shows we have the most fun with. Probably because we walk in with that abject sense of predestined failure that any
I don't know about that failure, but
oh, it's a classic thing I've found. Like, if you approach any kind of performance, any kind, with the notion that that it already sucks, no, it's not gonna work. You might as well just go out there, be loose and limber, have fun with it, and do your thing. That's where you oftentimes get your best work. And I've had comedians even tell me the same thing. So, I mean, you're out of work now. What is it you do, if I might ask?
Trying to just find work. I'm out of work because what would be the word in English? In Finland we have a military army. Dudes have to go to army.
Oh, you got.
I didn't. Yeah. I didn't fare very well in there. I tried it. I had to leave. And if you don't go to army, you have two choices: say no to everything and get thrown to jail, or civilian. Yeah, I think that's the right word. Civilian service. Mine just ended, and now
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find a job.
It's kind of similar, like they do a similar thing in Germany, don't they? Where it's like you either have to serve in the military or you do like some kind of civilian service for a certain period.
Uh,
I might be wrong, but I mean,
I'm not sure about Germany because I think they have professional army that gets paid, and it's not just everybody in the country that can hold a gun. But South Korea has same thing. They just have a longer time in the army and longer time in the civilian service.
oh. Well, I mean, well, shit. I mean, so what is it? What is it you hope to do? What are your like? What would your ideal job be? What do you hope to work in now?
Oh fuck! Ideal job? Don't fucking know. I just hope that I get some basic job in some market or something. Something to get by, and maybe a few months from now get to get through university exams, and in the next fall get in there.
Oh yeah,
Right on.
absolutely. What do you wanna study?
Political sciences.
Oh,
Oh, I did
man.
that.
Yeah, I know. I know it's
Yeah, it's quite a it's quite a study, and I don't know how it'd be over there. I know over here when I was studying at college, when I was studying political science and all that, it was funny because you could actually tell the biases of the professors according to the grading. Now this was before like the the big SJW frenzy and everything we got going on now, especially. But yeah, there was a. What was it? We got issued a research paper, like project. This is like Poli Sci 101. They're like, you need to do a research paper, minimum 2,500 words, minimum 5 sources. I ended up writing an entire thing about American defense spending and going over how it's a grab bag for big defense weapons developers and shit, and that we will spend billions and trillions, sometimes of dollars, on things that don't work, just because the lobbying worked out and all that. 12 sources read an appropriations bill, which is 360 pages of government appropriations. Read it twice, cover to cover. Wrote a paper on it. Got a D. It's called it's called an opinion piece. A paper in that same class. This blonde bobblehead Republican type who was a big Bush fan at the time wrote a book about women in politics after reading Hillary Clinton's book once. And that was an A paper, and I'm like, well, politics is all about biases.
So I've got a question. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Sorry, ask away.
Well, what I was going to ask is, because I never been to Finland, even though I'm mostly Finnish ethnically.
Proudly.
No, absolutely proudly. But I'm not there, so I don't get a chance to experience like Finland and how the environment.
It's fucking hot in here now.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's been like this is second week. It's abnormally hot. It's I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius it's been like 30 Celsius.
30.
All fucking
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Second week, whole fucking Europe is burning.
Oh my god, that's insane. For people's reference, 30 translates to 86, and for a Scandinavian country to be about 86 Fahrenheit is insane. That's
25 is normal fucking hot summer.
Mm-hmm. That's
in
nuts.
Finland.
That's absolutely nuts. I mean, well, like here, during the summer, like let's see, I want to calculate it into here during the summer it can get as hot as basically 40 degrees Celsius. It's pretty insane.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it gets pretty nuts. But like, you guys aren't used to it. Well, the thing that I'm curious about. So you're looking into getting into political science. Which is more of a pervasive attitude in Finland right now? Would you say it's like right-leaning identitarian groups, or would you say it's like the social justice crowd?
It's both. It's
Is it
both. I'm and let's rephrase this bit. I'm something that is quite a fucking rare thing in Finland. I would consider myself as a bit of libertarian.
Okay.
But in Finland we have Finns and Greens and the left. Let's group things like that. The left parties, the SJWs, and the Finns is the the traditionally conservative alt-right party, the other side of the coin. Both of them exist very clearly. I'm in the county or town that is very prominently a Finn.
Okay.
Finn, the alt. Let's simplify it, calling it alt-right, the alt-right party thing. The
nationalist.
Yeah, nationalist. Nationalist is a good word because it seems when you look at it that's the alt-right memes and the talking points are just the just something that is borrowed from you guys because it's gets everybody triggered, so to say.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's kind of how American politics
it's
works.
both in the same time, and in the middle there are a lot of people who just want to fix the system and want both sides to just fuck off and die.
Right.
Hey.
I think that's something that's kind of a really interesting dysfunction between Europe and America.
If somebody is American and is wondering how we have a system where it's actually a lot of people in the middle, we have 8 parties in the parliament and many parties outside of it. So
that's
at least 8.
That's a lot of different perspectives for sure. Well, there's like there's this interesting dysfunction between America and say things like especially Northern European. I think is because there's a whole connotation to a nationalist and a cultural pride when it comes to Scandinavian countries. We hear, so this is the difference, and I've noticed this quite a bit. If I hear about an identitarian movement that's nationalist and right wing over in Europe, well, first thing I do is I check to see which country it's originated in, and then I have to kind of judge it based on its merits. But if you have a wing of that type of identitarian movement in America, they are always 100%. They're always fucking racist. Every single fucking one of them. And it's because there's this fetishization that American alt-right people have with countries like Finland or Sweden or Norway, where they believe that a nationalist pride in that means that there has to be an inherently white component to it.
Well, let me ask you this, Jeff. I mean, with that, do you think it's inherently a racist thing, or do you think it's actually a bit like the EDL in England, right? So if you take Tommy Robinson's word on the thing, like he left the EDL because those extreme dipshits couldn't stay away. And it was funny because if you look at the definition of alt-right, initially you had like Gavin McGinnis and Milo Yiannopoulos coming out and praising the label alt-right because they figured it was just a new kind of conservatism, and then Michelin Man impersonator dipshits like Dick Spencer and fucking millennial woes weeping into his fucking into his lager over Taylor Swift never fucking him. These kinds of cunts moved in and they're like, this is ours now. It kind of seems like nationalist movements. I don't know if necessarily nationalist movements are themselves inherently racist as much as they just open themselves up to these simpering fuckwits so readily that they just flood in. They're like, "This is ours now. We made this. We did this. We're the alt right." Not even defending it, because honestly, you can take that label and stuff up
the
your ass.
nationalist movements are very fuck, I can't say that word, but they're weak. They are easy targets for such groups, like a just name any fucking racist asshole.
Okay, so like they're easy targets.
In Finland, if we talk about that, another side of the coin, the Finns, the nationalistic party, they have had a fuck ton of controversies about people inside of the party being friends and having links and actually being very close ties to organizations that can be considered racist.
Okay.
And there was back in the day, like a year back, a picture of a few of the people in the party. Actually, there was one member of parliament, at least if I remember right. In the it's a long story, but they were a grave of one dude that killed one of the governors of one of Russian governors.
Oh, was it? It wasn't the Atomwaffen, was it?
No, it was in the time when Finland was part of the Russia.
Oh,
when the governor was killed. So it's like a 150 years old thing.
Okay.
There. Sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to piece this together to be a somewhat current story.
Oh, yeah, it's all right.
It's a bit slow. But they were in a grave. There was a picture taken. It was like a small event. And the same picture with a member of parliament were people who have ties to a organization that is considered here in Finland a neo-Nazi group. And it's not a rare thing, and members of that Finnish party have had problems with a member of parliament can bring their friends in to watch the parliament working in
watch the meeting,
debates and stuff like that. And one of those friends did a Nazi salute in the the benches.
What?
In the
Oh no!
And somebody fucking saw it, and it was
That's pretty fucking bad, dude. Oh my god!
And there has been a problems like that, and if you Google name Jussi Halla-aho, you can find a lot of talk about that dude's writings. Some of it has been changed to fit a narrative, by the press and stuff. Write a good story, but Jussi Halla-aho, who is the chairman of this party currently, has also been a lot of trouble because he wrote things like if you a comparison, if you would say this about Finnish people, nobody would care.
Okay.
And if you say this thing about Muslim, everybody shit, and everybody did lose their fucking shit, and he got into court because of it. So yeah,
let me I just want to jump in real quick because I'm keeping an eye on the chat, and there's naturally discussion of ethno states coming up. Back to Browsing says yes, we will if you're motivated to make a better life. If you're motivated to make America sick as much as the place you left, fuck off back there. There are over 200 ethno states within the United States right now. They're called reservations. Dude, no. You really don't. I'm guessing like either you've had a very limited experience with Native peoples or you don't know.
It's a lady.
Oh, sorry, lady. Whatever. I mean, if you're many tribes out west, doesn't matter what the fuck race you are. If they like you enough, they'll just say you're a member of the fucking tribe. And if you look at reservations, like it's a tribal thing. It's not so much racial. Yeah, sure, there are lots of people on the reservations who are like about their tribal purity, but it really doesn't fucking exist. Now that's more of a political state. That's a nation of people who've been pushed and relocated and then finally given their own supposedly sovereign ground. Trying to compare the dream of an ethno state, I would say, to native reservations doesn't really fucking cut it, because you can go into any res and you'll find plenty of racially intermixed families that are simply declared members of the nation, members of the tribe.
There's a lot of criticisms you could definitely have towards reservations, and I've
Loads of
spoken
Loads
about
of
some of them. Maybe we'll talk about that here in just a second. But I mean, this is honestly really illuminating to me because
it just a I have to say that's just my perspective. If you would ask somebody who is more on the left or more on the nationalistic side, you would get a different view. And my view is a bit of layman view because I have been like a half a year away from politics.
Sure.
Just doing the civilian service. Trying to get back into that, that fucking grind.
Sure.
And, that's house wheel where all my friends are.
No, I love to hear about it because it's my ethnic homeland. I mean, I'm as American can be, but like I still have a lot of love for where I came from and where.
Are you regular in the Discord, homie?
I sit here sometimes, but let's put it that way, that I don't like annoying people, and I'm a bit self-conscious about it, so I mostly stay quiet and just read about people.
Well, we do have I think 3 other Finns actually part of the community, so maybe you should hang out some more.
Oh fuck, I have to find them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you'll just have to put up with bad memes for a while.
Yeah.
Which are the best memes?
Is there anything that you'd like to share with us to put out there so people can look up once this goes live on YouTube?
No. Only a few Finnish guys, but not really.
Well, if you want to share them, like by all means, send me a DM on Discord, and I'll make sure.
That dude that came into my mind does Finnish politics in Finland, so it's be a bit hard to follow.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. Sorry, Jeff. What I was going to ask you was that have you ever tasted Koskenkorva?
Koskenkorva? Don't think so.
I will try to send you a bottle of that then.
Okay.
Oh.
I would love to try.
It's a Finnish vodka. It's just a basic clear vodka, but it's Finnish vodka.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's the point of it.
Like every time somebody has sent me Finnish liquor, they always send me salmiakki.
Oh fuck no, salmiakki koska hyvin vittu.
Now we're getting into that.
It's basically a salmiakki kossu without the fucking salmiakki.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds like I'd probably like it a lot.
It's the base liquor under it.
They sent me this box, salmiakki liquor, salmiakki candy, salmiakki cookies, like fucking it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, it is acquired taste.
It is.
To say the least.
Yeah, some of them were okay, but a lot of it was just a little too much for me. I'm not used to it. But thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. All right.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
All right,
guys.
We'll talk to you again soon.
I love the fact that like all these different countries have like their own cuisines and shit, and like I get to fall back on being Russian, Jewish, and Irish, and it's like, oh well, the suicidal novelists, potato shit, and that's kind of all you got.
All right.
And crocodile.
I'm gonna read the Streamlabs here in a minute. But and we're gonna get one more person in. Do you have to go and take care of Quinn?
No, she's just chilling, and honestly, it's summer vacation, so she's like, she typically. What the fuck time is it now?
All right.
It's 10. Yeah, I think we could do one, maybe 2 more. I think.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. But I did want to mention this.
And I actually did just get good news while the conversation was going on. Kiddo gets to actually stay an extra day, so
nice.
Yay!
Awesome.
More Quinn time. It's always good.
That's always really good.
Yeah.
The reservation thing in America is really interesting. Because the more I examined it and the more I was looking into it, especially when I did the video on the DAPL pipeline thing, no DAPL protests, and I started looking more and more into like Native American rights and Native American scenarios and situations. Like if there is a reservation that does not have a massive money resource, they have so many fucking problems. It's absolutely insane. Like Indian gaming, You know, they can
Oh.
make a good amount of money for the tribe, not necessarily for everybody. Sometimes
Oh, I
only
mean,
for a select few.
well, I mean, dude, shit. I mean, like right there in your home state of Oregon, there. My aunt is actually a school teacher on a Blackfoot reservation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep in mind this aunt of mine is a New York Jew.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's a like a fucking pillar of the community in on this reservation.
But it also depends. Like it depends on which reservation you're talking about. So
True.
we have in Oregon, there's the Warm Springs Reservation, and they're usually culturally very nice and very kind and very accepting, unless you live there. And then they are not very kind, nor very nice, nor very welcoming if you're a white boy. My buddy actually joined the post office and delivered mail there, and it took him a good year before anybody was kind to him. They were all very antagonistic towards him. But then there are some others, especially the coastal tribes, that are really, really welcoming. And it depends. There's a huge, and you could almost say it's an epidemic, but there's a huge problem. Statistically speaking, and this isn't universal to all tribes. In fact, there's a lot of them that are fine. But statistically speaking, there's a massive percentage of the poorest reservations having rampant crime and
meth.
and corruption.
Yeah, a lot of meth too. Drugs, a lot of drugs.
And the BIA, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, depending on where you're talking about, is sometimes some of the most problematic bureaucratic agencies that are out there. And these are real problems, huge problems that we don't hear anything about, because the convenient part about a reservation is that you set them aside and like that's your own shit. You get to deal with that, and we don't have to deal with you unless for some reason we got to call the feds in. Like, that's fine. But that also means that we don't usually find out when something is a big problem either. So it depends on the reservation. It depends on the tribe. It depends on a lot of things. There are no easy, broad answers that you can make towards them. Just that you could say this much. Just like anybody else in any other setting, doesn't matter what color they are, set into the circumstances where corrupt people could gain corrupt power, corrupt people will. So, it's definitely not like a racial thing. It's just more of like a circumstantial thing.
Yeah, and it's case by case too. I mean, like my entire point was like the attempt to say that there are 200 ethno states in this country because Indian reservations exist. That's not that's kind of that's an apples to orange fucking comparison.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, certain tribes, certain reservations are probably like ethnic purity all the way. You need to be a bloodline member, all this hereditary hereditary honor, all that.
No.
And then there are plenty others that are not like that. So to say that like I mean, if somebody wanted to say like a failed example of an ethno state would be an Indian tribe, even still like a tribal reservation. That's not a fair comparison, because that's
Sure.
on a political level, to say that like even to say that they're an autonomous nation it's a tenuous statement to make, because they still do fall under the purview of the BIA, and they fall under the purview of the federal government. And when certain things happen, I mean, if shit goes down on an Indian reservation and the FBI ends up there, the FBI has jurisdiction there.
Right.
It's still federally controlled. And so to say, to make that comparison, either way, I'd say either in support of the notion of it or in opposition of it, it's apples and oranges. I don't think it works.
It is. It absolutely is. And one, like, something I think is really interesting. I for a while was kind of like a hardline reservation abolitionist. I like the idea of taking every tribal family and giving them a chunk of the land, so that is theirs. Make sure it is of equitable value of the land, so nobody's getting completely butt raped out of the situation. To basically be able to kind of counter against certain people inside of certain reservations profiting more than others. That way at least everybody gets a jump start. Because the thing is too, if you're a Native American, nobody's forcing you to live on a reservation. You can live anywhere you want. You're an American. You can do whatever you want. You totally can. I don't know if I still feel that way or not. I just see too often problems arising from it, and because it's a special situation, it seems kind of strange. How long are we going to like maintain reservations? Like, is it an indefinite thing? I don't know. I want the best for everybody, so I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
and I mean, if you want to draw a comparison between like, the ethno-state white nationalists out there, the pudgy wannabe revolutionaries who are gonna vlog furiously, and the concept of the nation, the concept and the notion of tribal nations, reservations of Indian rights, then you actually really can't bitch when Muslims start taking over Europe because. It's manifest destiny, survival of the fittest, all that, right? Right? Right?
All right, we're gonna get one more person on. Let me check out the stream.
This is what you get for putting us into a fucking big grand hall like we're having a fucking Oxford debate. It should have been the Laugh Factory. It would have been much better.
Oh Christ! Don't make me look that up.
That's not true. The Laugh Factory is not necessarily always better.
MC Lucas says, I got paid today, but many of my favorite creators didn't. That's no good, so I hope this helps out. Thank you very much, buddy. Skep Talk Live. Kabam! Subscribed with Prime for 2 months. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate you. He, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the same Skep Talk Live, he actually lives in my town. I used to play DayZ with him, and he and I are supposed to go get some beers here pretty soon. I'm really excited about that.
Getting beers is far superior to playing at least the modern iteration of DayZ.
Oh my god, I know, it was so bad. It was great back in the day when we were playing a lot.
That's what I hate. I couldn't afford the game and I didn't have the machine to play it, so I just watched YouTube and Twitch streams of like DayZ. It was kind of like Rust was a similar thing. It's like, man, I really want to play this game, and then I get into it 2 months later. It sucks. It was kind of like starting a YouTube channel in 2014. Yeah.
All right. So, Uncle Joe, welcome to the show. Uncle Joe, how you doing, man?
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
What's happening, homie? I love this. We've had almost all new people today.
Almost. Wait, are you new, Uncle Joe?
Yeah, I'm pretty new. I'm not really active around here.
There
sweet.
we go.
Well, how you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
4 beers in, and I'm feeling pretty good. Not too bad. Yeah. I'm almost ready to throw myself with a violent stunt in front of a camera so I can get that last shot that I need.
Oh, have you noticed have you wanted your AC to be back on, vocally at least? No. It's going well. We're overheating, but it's fine.
Yeah. No. So what's been going on new with you, man?
I just harvested some honey from my bees. Other than that, not much.
Ooh, you're a beekeeper.
Oh, Uncle Joe, that's right. I was shooting the shit with you earlier. All right, sorry, I didn't put two and two together. Yeah, this dude has a fucking glorious bee colony.
Really?
Yeah.
If you scroll up, if you go to general right now and you scroll up a ways, you'll actually see some pictures of his bee colony, and he was offering fresh organic honey earlier. Which is pretty dope. Yeah.
Yeah, I could ship you guys some honey if you want.
Hell yeah.
That sounds pretty badass, man. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. When I was saying there, like when I run out of coffee, I typically go to either black or green tea, which is actually kind of, I'm discovering it's a better like morning wake me up drink because it's not the instant like, oh my god, I need to shit my brains out kind of thing. And yeah, and fucking raw organic honey and a cup of tea and some avocado toast and quitting your job. It makes my day. That's how you been, Joe? I'm glad. Look at this. Like first time, I think we interacted directly on Discord in the Saints Discord there, and now here you are in the show, and then people are gonna start assuming things.
No, I just got lucky. I was random like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're gonna be heading off to college in 2 weeks, yeah?
Yeah, going to college.
What are you going to study?
Oh, jeez. I'm telling my mom UAS design and integration, but I don't know if that's gonna work. So yeah, that's gonna be a whole drama.
Well, no worries, man. I mean, one thing with a big fucking pity I find to American college these days is largely that it's, I mean, yeah, it should be career focused. You should be trying to figure out and pursue what it is you want to do for a living. But I mean, shit, I started out college studying criminal justice because I wanted to go into fucking private investigations and bail enforcement of all things. Yeah. And
So
then
bounty hunter.
bounty hunter, but also PI. But well, I mean, in I found out in my state, it takes one license to be a PI, and if you can get work with insurance companies, that's fucking phenomenal. Like they'll pay you to fucking to run surveillance ops and snitch out on phony disability claimants left and right. But also, the same license allows you to be a skip tracer, a bail enforcement, bail bondsman, enforcement officer, bounty hunter, and also do repo work. So I was like, hey, I've got no prospects. And I'm like, I was like 20, shit, I was like 21, 22. I'm like, I got no fucking prospects. Hey, I'll just go fuck up other people's games and make a living doing that. And then as I was studying this shit, right, I found first off, like, criminal investigation is insanely fascinating.
Right.
And then when you get into constitutional law, like my goal ultimately was to go to law school at one time. I had no ambitions to go to law school when I started thinking I'll just take a few classes at this community shit level college. And then all of a sudden I discovered like the beauty and the complexity of law and politics, and I was hooked from there. So I mean, if you're gonna go study graphic design, go study that shit, see how it sits with you. Maybe you'll fucking love it. And then at the same time, maybe you'll take some fucking random elective, and all of a sudden you'll discover, holy shit, I am in fucking love with this course of study. I can't get enough of it. And that's what college ought to be in many cases. A lot of people disagree because they think you ought to have like a plan and then go and then fucking eat shit and do a job you hate for the rest of your life because you made this one choice. But I don't know. I think, higher learning, it ought to be a place where you discover what it is that you're passionate about and interested in and want to get good at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping to do that, and if I don't, I don't. That's fine.
Like, what do you learn in college? I learned I really like working in call centers for some reason.
Yeah, no, my very first job was a call center. No, actually, it was unsolicited surveys.
Oh God.
That was bad, dude. That was super bad.
I used to employ people like you.
Yeah, well,
Shit.
it's not fun, man. It's not fun at all. It's fucking nuts.
So what are you going to do about your bees, though? One thing you were saying is you were worried you're going to go off to college and then there's going to be no one to look after your bees. I mean, do you think your mom's going to be able to hack it?
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna find out, and it's kind of concern. I'm kind of training her up and being like, okay, this is the shit you do. This is the shit you look out for. Can you remember any of this? She's like, kind of.
That's always a good start. Can you remember any of this? Maybe.
Sort of.
It's gonna be like 2 months into college. It's gonna be like, honey, I found a great use for your bees. What? Yeah, no, we found that if we pack them like cigarette butts into like into a bit of styrofoam, we can make great insulation. The corpses retain so much heat.
Oh God.
The Crispy in the chat says, just do a shit job for a few years and piss off to Hawaii to live your best life. It's a good idea.
There you go. Yep. I mean, they got great avocado toast out there.
Great avocado toast. I
Yep.
need my avocado toast.
How
Let me
millennial
get
are
my
you,
soy
bro?
while I'm at it.
Actually, shit, you're about to go to college. Does that even what is the age range of millennials these days?
Shit, I don't know.
I
I googled it, and I'm technically Generation Z or whatever.
There you
I'm
go.
like, okay, I'm like borderline millennial, borderline Gen Z.
Yeah, Gen Z has yet to demonstrate whether or not that's better or worse.
Oh
But,
my god. Okay, so according to Thrillist.com, let's see. Millennials are between the years 1981 and 1996. Nick, you and I are both millennials.
Well, I mean, we both did formerly work jobs, and now we just tell shitty jokes on the internet.
We are the meme. We are the meme.
Wait a second, I need to find my clear glasses so I can pose for a still frame with my mouth agape.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. See, it doesn't work without the glasses. You need the thick rim, douchey Prada glasses to really sell it.
Shit.
Man.
Does anybody feel like some pour over coffee? I feel like some pour over coffee right now. How about you?
Yeah, PewResearch.org also says 81 to 96. Motherfucker, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
I'm happy to be born in the millennium.
I'm not just making this
Never been
face because I
happier.
need to take a piss. Yeah, but I do need to take a piss. Oh my god! Oh, great. You know what? My the whole night's ruined. What is it?
Just go take a piss, you goddamn millennial.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. It's like, nah, man, the hip new trend is causing bladder blockages because you want to finish your show before you relieve yourself.
Not me, man. I get up and I piss all the goddamn time.
I'll be back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, you go. You go on. You go on with your millennial
Have fun.
self. Jesus Christ, man. That's wild.
Fucking millennials. What can you do?
Okay, so you're a beekeeper.
Yeah.
What's your perspective on neonicotinoids?
Neonicotinoids.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, so when the March Against Monsanto thing was like super super big, this is back in 2015, 16, that era, maybe even a little bit before that too. There was this huge push that Monsanto was killing the bees. They were the cause of colony collapse disorder. Even though I don't think Monsanto actually makes neonicotinoids, which was the main like pesticide culprit that they thought were killing all the bees, they still wanted to blame Monsanto. But I've been kind of like trying to keep track of colony collapse disorder because it's something that I used to talk about all the fucking time. You know what? Nick's not here. I get main billing. Fuck this. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? So that was one of the things that I've been kind of keeping an eye on, but I haven't gotten a chance to talk to a beekeeper in a couple of years. Did you ever have any trouble with colony collapse disorder?
Well, I've been doing it for 2 years. I've had one that I think may have been some CCD.
Okay.
They basically rejected all the queens that I put in or tried to get them to make a queen. They absolutely refused.
Okay.
And so they just ended up kind of dying.
Right.
But I don't know. I hear more about that kind of stuff on like the industrial level. You know,
Right.
the people that go out and then they, how do I put this? The people that go out and they put it on like farms, like they put their beehives out in farms where they use pesticides more.
Right. Yeah, they're because of the way we basically are forced at this point to compete for agriculture. They have to use aggressive chemical agents to make sure that their crops are good. Like I can see where that argument comes from. The evidence is very loosey-goosey on it, though. I think, and also the last time I checked the trends on it, and this was admittedly about a year and a half ago, colony collapse disorder was actually on the rebound, and it's something that kind of just naturally happens within like the bee. Because I mean, like honeybees in America, like the kind of bees that you cultivate for honey, they're not native to this country.
Yeah, they're all European.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if there's. I don't know. You count Russian as European? I don't know. That's kind of a mixed bag, but
It's not American, so
that's
who
the only
cares?
suggestion. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not American. It's fine. The
Yeah.
world doesn't exist outside of America.
That's
It's
right.
fine.
That's right. God damn it.
That's right.
That's right. God damn it. Europe has superior bees. Get the fuck out of here, Weaseful. No, but yeah. So I that's just something that I always found really interesting. But I always found the idea of beekeeping to be pretty badass. So I think that's really cool. That's a hell of a hobby to have.
Yeah. Well, it all started when my dad decided to get bees because he wanted to have honey, right?
Mhm.
And so I was like, well, I have a guy who does beekeeping, and he's done like actual scientific research for bees.
Mhm.
So I asked him for a lot of advice on what to do, what not to do, what to look out for. And now I'm at the point where I can actually get the hang of it and know what I'm doing with my bees, which is really cool. And it's weird. It's weird because I used to be so afraid because people, have this impression of getting stung, right? They're always afraid of getting stung.
Right.
And to me, it's like, oh, I get stung. Oh, no big deal.
Yeah.
I have a picture on my phone. I'll post it in the Discord. My foot fucking swelled up to like big, like just this big blister.
Oof.
But yeah, that happens when you get stung twice for me. But yeah.
Man.
I think it's worth it because the honey is just fucking delicious. It's like, oh my god.
That's true.
Also, honeybees are like an endangered species now, or close to it.
We just got done talking about that.
I was busy emptying my bladder.
That's true. That's very true.
And it was heavenly.
It's hard work.
Oh man, yeah. No, one of these days, and that's part of the dream. That's part of the dream. Someday, me and Mems will have our nice bit of property, with our dog rescue business and our mini goats that eat the grass and beehives.
Delicious chickens.
Delicious chickens, yes.
Yeah.
We will have.
You can't be an Oregon suburbanite without
Oh, we're
doing...
moving out of town, man. Oh no, we're gonna build a fucking compound. Just like we've been trying to get a map from Comcast to see how far they're willing to actually go to install high-speed business class internet, and like at that edge is where we're gonna start looking for a place to buy. In like 40 years when I can actually afford a house. And but yeah, bees will be on that farm for sure.
Oh yeah, they're a lot of fun, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Like you can plant flowers at certain times. You can plant flowers to bloom at certain times, and then that'll like feed them at a certain time. Yeah. And there's shit like that. We had one. We don't have a lot of CCD or. One thing my friend who does beekeeping has varroa mites, which are like the little mites that infect the brood, and they'll just absolutely destroy a hive. And I'm like, thank God I've never had them, but I have had something called hive beetles.
Hive beetles.
They're I think they're Japanese. They come from Japan, I think. But they basically just completely destroyed my hive. And that one picture I showed is actually that hive. And when I found out, I was like, oh, they're outside the hive. That's not normal. And normally sometimes when it gets hot out, they'll do what's called bearding. And when they're bearding, they're outside and they're cooling off.
Okay.
But this was different because it was fucking huge. It was just covered the front of the hive, and it'd been out for like a week. And I was like, that's not normal.
There's a bunch of fucking beetles in the hive or some shit.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of gross, but they kind of like slime up the comb. I have some pictures I can post that too.
Oh.
But there's all the larvae. It's the larva that's the worst because it's like little fucking mealworms.
Ugh.
And they're just yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. I had to clean that out, and oh, it was bad. I felt bad for them because they almost died if I hadn't moved them.
Fucking Japanese insects. Bomb them again!
Well, 2 nukes weren't enough.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah, well, the nukes are what created these horrendous killer fucking insects.
And anime.
I mean, do you want kaiju? Do you really want kaiju coming through and just stepping on your hive?
Oh god.
Exactly.
There's an Asian hornet. I don't know if you guys have seen that, the Asian giant hornet.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen it. It's a thing of nightmares. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I love how the Japanese bees have fucking decided have evolutionarily adapted to like cook them alive. It's fucking badass.
It's disgusting. Oh
yeah.
All right. Well.
Oh shit, Uncle Joe. It was good. I'm glad after actually chatting with you earlier in the Discord, and I'm actually starting to hang out in Discord finally. But yeah, I'm glad we got a chance to actually just shoot the shit a bit here, and you to expand on your what's the science term for bees?
It's Apicultural. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apicultural brilliance. Yeah. No, that was good shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so
Well, thanks for having me on.
it was a pleasure, dude.
Anything you want to share with us before you bounce?
Yeah, sure. There's a channel I enjoy watching. I don't know if anyone else will, but 628 Dirt B Rooster channel. Fucking.
Send me a DM in Discord and I'll get
Oh
that.
yeah, sure. I'll definitely do
Rooster channel?
Cool.
that. 628 Dirt Rooster.
Is it like a channel that like is a rooster crow every time dawn's supposed to happen where you are?
No, it's a beekeeping channel.
Oh,
and
cool.
this
Because
guy,
then I'm gonna
this
have
guy
to
goes
go.
into people's houses and removes bees.
Sweet.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go create that rooster crow channel on my own then. Just gonna do like
Rooster ASMR.
yeah, rooster ASMR. It's like it's a live stream of just this silhouette of a rooster standing on a barn, and then
Is it 628 Dirt Rooster?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I got him. Okay.
Oh, there's actually some folks. Apparently, Sir is watching. Knows about it. Yeah, 628 Dirt Rooster is fucking awesome. He says so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
Jables
Yeah, he's DMing me on Discord, so.
and Jables Boogly actually really wants to watch the Bee movie now. So look at all the inspiration.
Woo! We got you,
Jables.
boo.
Jables gonna watch the whole thing. He's gonna be like, "Wait, I haven't seen anybody like just inadvertently squirt on camera. Shit, this isn't like the last time we watched it. No,
Yeah, the last time when we were intersplicing it with e-fucked clips. That's true.
the
Well,
only way to watch it.
that's how we roll in the YouTube Saints, man, or Midweek Saints, whatever the fuck we're doing right now. Thank you so
The
much, Uncle
Bezos,
Joe.
the Bezos Saints. Yeah.
The Bezos Saints. Thanks, Uncle Joe. We'll talk to you again
Bezos.
soon, all right, buddy?
All right, see you around, man.
See
Yeah,
ya.
homie.
Let's see. Let me check, make sure. I think we might be. Oh, we're not caught up, I think. Okay. Magic
Let's get
Fowl.
caught up.
Magic Fowl resubscribed for 4 months so far. We'll continue to support you until you quit. Nick, keep up the fit to spin. I'm loving that shit.
Oh, you're gonna love the fake news interviews I got coming. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
love them.
Mm-hmm.
They're so fun.
I like your new reinvention that you've been doing lately. I think it's good shit. It's really good
Yeah,
shit.
well, I mean, it's just like you can only do the same thing for so long and fail at it before you say, "Hey, I should do something different."
all right.
Hence facilitating our revamping here, which we'll be
That's true.
discussing.
Which we'll be discussing in just a little bit. But you got to get the Quinny to bed. I have to go throw myself violently on the ground in front of a camera, and then we'll have our meeting tonight. But otherwise, for all of you guys out there, I think this is the end. The end of the story. I don't know how that song goes.
This is the end of the show. Fuck off, go
That's what it is.
away.
Yeah. That's right.
Catch the after show
Yes,
over
Twitch.
at Caligator's channel.
Twitch.tv/Caligator, Caligator. We're about to raid over them in just a minute. We love you guys very, very much. We have been your Midweek Saints. We love you. We care about you. We want to hold you tenderly in our arms. Good night. Bye.
Oh, I broke the thing again.
Did it screw up? Did the last song that we always play at the end of the night, it got all screwed up yet again? Again? What did you do? You know what? Let's try it again. Try this again.